an Odyssey sports station.
Kansas City!
And your home for Royals baseball.
Fastball hit high in the air, deep left field, way gone into the bleachers. A two-run homer for Bobby Witt Jr.
Watch The Drive by subscribing on our YouTube channel or listen on demand with the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
This show is always going to stand on principles. Dippin' Dots are incredible. Red Lobster is the best restaurant that America has to offer, and baked beans are trash.
You're listening to Kansas City's FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan. Here's C-Dot.
Let's do this. Another day, another dollar, another edition of The Drive. You are listening to The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, 96.5thefan.com, and also the Odyssey app. My name is Carrington Harrison. Excited to be here with you on this wonderful Thursday. We got a lot of college basketball to get into as we are resuming the third round of the NCAA tournament. We have made it to the Sweet 16. We got 4 matchups coming today, 4 matchups coming tomorrow, and we are going to narrow this thing down from Thursday to Sunday to the final 4 teams in this year's college basketball season. We are going to begin today's show a little bit differently. Today is opening day around Major League Baseball. It's good to see Mets and Pirates right now on NBC. Paul Skeens started today for the Pittsburgh Pirates. He didn't make it out of the first inning in their matchup today. So a lot happening in the world of sports. We are happy that you guys decided to make us a part of your day here on 96.5 The Fan. Again, my name is Carrington Harrison. Rob Brenton taking you up until 6 o'clock today. We are going to have Joel Goldberg join us on the show today to talk a little Royals baseball as we are a day away from the Royals starting their season in Atlanta. HUD is going to be on the show tomorrow. Really excited to have Rex Hudler rejoin us on the show as optimism is aplenty right now in Kansas City about the baseball team. We're going to start today's show a little bit differently, but I need you guys to do me a couple of favors. Number one, I need you listening to The Drive each day at 2 o'clock. Right here on 96.5 The Fan. Number 2, I need you guys to tell one friend to listen into the show. You know what? I would greatly appreciate that. And number 3, and most importantly, I need you guys to remember that the open of the show each day is brought to you by our friends over at The Other Place. If you're looking for a place to stop in today, watch a little college basketball, get something to eat, get something to drink, then look no further than our friends over at The Other Place. This is where I would like to begin the show today. And yes, we will talk some Royals baseball today. We will talk some college basketball today. I'm sure we'll sprinkle in a little NFL draft. There is a lot to get into, but I don't know why I do this to myself. I get an alert on my phone, and it says that Phil Lavoda, does he count as friend of the show? Because he has been in studio, but he's only been on the show one time. I don't know all the rules, but Phil Lavoda, you might be wondering, who is Phil Lavoda? Well, he is the Jackson County executive. You guys might remember him. He was the guy that had that angry press conference that said the Chiefs weren't leaving and said the Kansas was blowing nothing but smoke. Rob, if you can you pull up that audio? Because maybe people forgot who Phil Lavoda is. He is the person who replaced Frank White. You guys remember, you hated Frank White. You voted to get his ass out of town. They then replaced him with Phil Lavoda. So I get a notification. It says that Phil Lavoda has called a news conference. That news conference is going to be earlier today, and it was to discuss the future of the Truman Sports Complex. Now, I was intrigued by this. Well, why was I intrigued? Because I don't know what the future is of the Truman Sports Complex. The Chiefs are not going to be at the Truman Sports Complex, and the Royals have also communicated they are not going to be in the Truman Sports Complex. So they have a plan to discuss the future of the Truman Sports Complex. You know what? I made it a point to be sitting down, watching television, to see what this major announcement was going to be. You're telling me that Jackson County has a major announcement about the future of our city? Sign me up for that. Well, Phil Lavoda stood up there and he grabbed the microphone and he started talking. The announcement was that Jackson County has a new sports authority task force that they are putting together to determine the future of the Truman Sports Complex. Hold on. I thought I was getting punked. I was expecting Ashton Kutcher to jump out of the bushes. You were telling me that the people in Jackson County today had a press conference to tell us that they don't have a plan, that they are putting together a committee to figure out what the plan is. And at that moment, something became more clear to me than it has ever been. I see why the Chiefs didn't want to deal with them. It makes perfect sense to me. It is perfectly logical how the Chiefs one day, they sat there and they were thinking about the representation on the Kansas side, and they were thinking about the representation on the Missouri side and the Jackson County side. And amongst men, amongst the business deciders over at Arrowhead, they came to the conclusion, we don't want to deal with Jackson County anymore. Rob, am I off in this? We don't have to spend all day talking about this. I don't think it's an all-day kind of thing. Did Jackson County earlier today, did they call a press conference to discuss a plan, to tell us, in fact, that they do not have a plan, that they are putting another committee together to then figure out what the plan could potentially be at the Truman Sports Complex? There wasn't anybody over there that thought, hey, maybe we should just be quiet and lay low. And when we actually have real news to bring to the people, when we actually have a solution, when we actually have a concrete plan, that's maybe when we can pop up. You didn't have to pop up today to do this. You didn't have to pop up right before opening day. You didn't announce anything. It's not like they have a concrete idea of what they want to do. They just want you to know that they're working hard at figuring out what they're going to do. Rob, no wonder they lost. I mean, they got blown out. You know how when you read the box score of a game and it's very clear, like, all right, you got out-rebounded 34-11. You turned the ball over 19 times. You were 2 for 19 from 3. If you read all of that, I didn't need to watch the game. I see how you lost. I see how you got blown out. I now see how Jackson County, I see how they lost. Phil, you're not doing a good job right now, at least not in relation to this. You guys might remember Phil. Remember this? This is when he came out and declared that the deal wasn't done, even though the deal was done 24 hours later.
And I'm here today because the state of Kansas is making noise. And depending on which media outlet you listen to, the deal's already done. Well, it's not. I've had weekly conversations with Mark Donovan, the Chiefs. We talked yesterday, we talked today, and he has told me there is no done deal.
Okay, well, you know what the Chiefs were doing? They were laying in silence, and they were actually getting deals done around you. While you were putting task force and committees to try to figure it out, there was real action and real moves and real commerce happening around you that you guys were not privy to, that you guys were unaware of. You obviously have learned nothing from this endeavor. Absolutely nothing from all of this. I want to play one more cut for you guys, speaking of the Truman Sports Complex, and we'll talk more about this coming up on the other side. Sometimes people have a way of joining this station, joining this show, of putting things in a very succinct way that I don't need to add much commentary to it. They said it already. Tim Kurkjian was on the morning show earlier today. I think you could argue that Tim Kurkjian is the most respected voice in baseball. Tim Kurkjian was doing this at a high level, Rob, when you and I were kids. He was 30, 40 years in when you and I just started watching Baseball Tonight in SportsCenter. Tim Kurkjian was on the morning show. Great get by Dusty and Bob. And listen to what he said about the Kansas City Royals and the optimism and where it comes from.
I'm not sure they made a move of any kind that was so big that you just say, all right, this is the difference maker. I think this has to come from within. I mean, Mike Franco has been such a good player for them, but I think he's gone to another level, making the All-Star team last year and then playing in the WBC. So that's where I think the improvement comes to the Royals, are guys who are been there and are starting like their first full year with the team.
I think that is the perfect way of describing the Royals coming into this season. I don't know where everybody's optimism level is. We'll talk about that more coming up in a bit on a scale from 1 to 10. You know, we love a scale on this show. But I will say That is the perfect way, I think, of describing optimism around this baseball team. The Royals did not do a thing from October until March that you can point to and say, I believe in the Royals because they did this in the offseason. There was a lot of belief that the Royals were going to make a significant trade. I thought the Royals were going to take one of their starting pitchers and then flip that into a legitimate outfield bat. We now have the answer about 26 hours from opening day. That was not the case. Now, that's not to say the Royals can't do this at some point this season or near the trade deadline, but opening day is tomorrow. This is the team you got. But I do believe that the optimism around this team centers around the fact that right now the Royals have about 6 position players, and if you want to throw in quality starters and bullpen guys, this team has a very strong nucleus of players between the ages of 25 and 28 years old. That's not counting Jack Caglione. That's not counting Carter Jensen. This team has an established group of guys that you are expecting that can continue to take steps forward, and you have built a core that you can really do something with. This offseason, in my opinion, really stems from, do you believe in the vision that J.J. Piccolo and John Sherman have built up with this baseball team? A lot of you do believe in the vision that they have built up. You believe in Bobby Witt. You believe in Garcia. You believe in Pasquantino. You believe in Jack Caglione and Carter Jensen and the rotation that they have put together. If you believe in their plan and in their vision and how they have built this thing up, then optimism is through the roof coming into this season. This is as optimistic as I can remember, at least so far in this decade, about Royals baseball and your hope and confidence in what they can be. But if you're on the other side of it, you don't believe in JJ, you don't believe in John Sherman, you still want to see more, you're mad about the vote, you're mad about the stadium, you're mad about this thing, mad they didn't go out and make this move in the offseason, then your expectations are going to be tempered. I think the Royals have given you a lot of reasons to be hopeful and optimistic. I think the Royals have given you a lot of reasons to believe that they are building a very solid foundation that I think they can continue to build on, which would give them a realistic chance of competing for a division this year and possibly winning it. Coming up on the other side, we'll go around the room here. On a scale from 1 to 10, what is your confidence? What is your hope? What is your optimism as we are heading into the baseball season? We'll do that next. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for K-State Athletics. 96.5, The Fan.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/protect. That's ethos.com/protect. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Come on. No! It's just a golf lesson, champ. Loosen up.
I can't. See that Hyundai Santa Fe?
Yeah.
I only paid to know.
Finish up on your own. I gotta run.
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days on the Hyundai Tucson, Tucson Hybrid, Santa Fe, or Santa Fe Hybrid. Now, during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Hurry, offer ends March 31st. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
There's nothing like the sound of Royals baseball. When the boys in blue take the field, loyal fans tune in, turn it up, and stay connected. And where do Kansas City's most passionate sports fans gather? Right here on 96.5 The Fan. Sports fans are loyal fans. They support the teams they love and the businesses that support their team. If you're ready to grow your business and connect with a dedicated, engaged audience, call 816-522-0444 or email greg.bergen@odyssey.com. That's greg.bergen@odyssey.com.
It's March, and that means there's no better time to start betting with Circa Sports. It doesn't matter how you're planning on betting the mayhem. Picking individual games, futures to make it through the bracket, props on your favorite players, or more. Circa Sports has you covered. Circa Sports isn't just sports betting, it's sports betting the way it should be. High betting limits, player-friendly pricing, and exceptional customer service. Download the Circa Sports app or visit circasports.com today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Low testosterone can be a real problem for many men. It causes poor sleep patterns, decreased energy, low sex drive, and it makes it really hard to stay in shape. And as we all know, a healthy body is very important to our overall health and well-being. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if some or all of these symptoms sound like you, we can likely help you be done with low T. We can also help you lose weight, support your metabolism, improve your gains in the gym, and more with our new targeted body composition plans featuring GH peptides, NAD+, GLP-1s, PDA, and more. Our low T protocols, applied in conjunction with our body composition plans, will help most men see real improvements, true weight loss, higher energy, improved sleep, stronger workouts, and a renewed sex drive as well. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes blood work and a medical consult. And if you start on treatment the same day, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/protect. That's ethos.com/protect. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Come on. No! It's just a golf lesson, champ. Loosen up.
I can't. See that Hyundai Santa Fe?
Yeah.
I only paid to
Finish up on your own. I gotta run.
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days on the Hyundai Tucson, Tucson Hybrid, Santa Fe, or Santa Fe Hybrid. Now, during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Hurry, offer ends March 31st. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
What's up? It's Draymond Green. I'm back for my 14th NBA season, and my podcast, The Draymond Green Show, is back too. This season, I'm breaking down games, reacting to the biggest NBA stories, and sitting down with teammates, rivals, and culture shapers. And trust me, I'm not holding back, on the court or on the mic. 2 new episodes every week, new segments, big conversations, real basketball talk for the real hoop heads. Listen to and follow The Draymond Green Show wherever you get your podcasts. We're back, we're better, let's get it.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Hey, it's Carlos Esteves from the Kansas City Royals. Welcome back to The Drive with C-Dot right here on 96.5 The Fan.
Welcome back into the show. We began today's show talking about there was an announcement that Jackson County had a major announcement about the vision for the future of the Truman Sports Complex. Now, it's my fault that I got all excited about this. I really did. I stopped what I was doing. I sat down in front of the television. They're about to make a major announcement. This seems like a really big deal. You know, opening days here. I want to see what the major announcement is. The announcement is that they have put together a task force to further explore the future. So they don't know what the future is. They could have just very quietly put the task force together, not told us about it, and then after the task force had done all the tasking, they then could have communicated to us what the plan is. But no. They got to be transparent. So they made an announcement to tell us that they don't have a plan, but they are putting together a group of people to figure out what the plan is. That's what Jackson County did today. Good luck to them as they are trying to figure out the future of the Truman Sports Complex. Rob, we also did get some renderings, which if you have renderings, it seems to me like you have a plan, but they are putting together a task force to figure out the plan. I don't know how their plan would involve turning the Truman Sports Complex into the San Antonio Riverwalk is what I look like. That's what it looked like to me. Like their plan was to do that. I don't think that's going to work, but that is one idea that was thrown out today is they are going to make that a hub of shops and bars and apartment complexes, and that's going to be a trendy place that people are going to want to live. That's one of the ideas that was thrown out today.
I did notice from all the renderings, which you're right. The renderings surprised me considering we don't have any plan, but we have renderings on a plan. Okay, got it. Sounds good. But here's what surprised me. They're going to tear down, based on the renderings, they're going to tear down Kauffman but keep Arrowhead up? Why? Why? I can't even begin to understand that. They're going to build around Arrowhead Stadium, which will be vacant, but they're going to tear down Kauffman to build whatever those renderings were of. It looked like a very nice area, although it looked very nice for another town, but there's a stadium in the backdrop, but a stadium that no one uses. So that the whole thing puzzled me to no end.
Yeah, it makes absolutely no sense. Good luck to the people of Jackson County as they try to work to figure this out. And they made an announcement to tell us that they don't have an announcement, but when they do have an announcement, they will then announce it. So good luck to them.
They gave us a timeline on the announcement. Hey, we're going to build a committee. The committee will be built by the 15th. And then in 90 days, we'll start talking about what the committee gave us. So we got some timelines on committees, baby.
No, for sure. Good luck to them. I'm sure this is going to work out exactly how they see it working out. Let's get back to talking about the Kansas City Royals. We also talked about that in the open as well. Tim Kirchin was on the morning show. This is what he said.
I'm not sure they made a move of any kind that was so big that you just say, all right, this is the difference maker. I think this has to come from within. I mean, Michael Franco has been such a good player for them, but I think he's gone to another level, making the All-Star team last year and then playing in the WBC. So that's where I think the improvement comes for the Royals. Are guys who are been there and are starting like their first full year with the team.
So that was Tim Kirchin earlier today on the station talking about the Royals. I would agree with him. I don't think the Royals made one move that is this banner move that we're all going to go around and say this is the move that gets them over the hump. I think the Royals are opting for, we have done a great job in drafting. We have done a great job in developing. We have done a great job in making moves to put us into the position that we are ready to take the next step forward as an organization. Let's see if they end up being right. Rob, you know we love to play this game. On a scale from 1 to 10, how optimistic are you heading into the baseball season that the Royals can live up to expectations?
So I guess, to sound like Spec here and get into the weeds a little bit on the rules, define expectations, because you said yesterday...
The expectations to me are the Royals need to make the playoffs.
So 10 is they're a playoff team. 0 on a scale 1 to 10 is...
They are the old Royals.
They're the 2023 Royals that won 54 games or whatever that year. I have them at a 9. I am very confident this team can be a playoff team. Now, do I know that they're going to win the division? That would be a different level of optimism. Do I think they're going to be one of the wild card teams that is hosting the 3-game series at Kauffman? That might be a different level of optimism. But I think this core, combined with that pitching staff, I think is a 9 on a scale of 1 to 10 for optimism they can achieve the goal being October baseball is back in Kansas City in some form or fashion. So I'm very confident. I'm at a 9.
The only reason I'm not as a 9 with you, and I would go with 8, is you and I both know that right now every conversation we are having about the Royals is wrapped in best case scenario. We've also watched enough sports to know that it very rarely goes best case scenario. And I am guessing at some point in the first 45 days of the Royals baseball season, it will be very obvious what their flaw is. And then the question comes down to, are the Royals willing to do something under John Sherman that they have not yet done? Are they ready to be serious buyers at the trade deadline to potentially get them over the hump? There's way too much talent on this Royals team, I think, for them to be out of it. Like, I have no worry or fear that we are being catfished by the Royals. I have no worry or fear that the Royals are going to win 65 games this season. I have no worry or fear if the Royals can't be a good competitive team that gets us to training camp, that has a realistic shot. I think they're just too talented from top to bottom. I think their rotation is too good. I think their bullpen. I think the Royals are too good of a team to be viewed as one of the major disappointments in Major League Baseball. But I do think that it was very clear that the Royals needed to make a move. They didn't make a move, And I think it will be very clear in the middle of May and early June, yeah, they probably should have made that move that we were talking about. And the same conversations that we were having in October and November about trading this piece to go pick up this thing or trading this to go get that, I think we'll end up just having those exact same conversations once the NFL draft is over. Once we hit early June and it's those dog days and the Royals are sitting there and they're 34-29 and they're a game up in the division, but it's clear that they're in a real fight, that they need this thing to create separation, I think we will then be asking the question, is John Sherman ready to take that next step? That's the only reason I would put myself at an 8. I do think at some point in these first 45 to 60 days, it will be very obvious that they should have made a move, but just didn't this offseason.
That's fair. But I also, to your point, though, I think if they're 34-29, we'll just use that as our number, which is a good season. It's not like they came out like world beaters in the first 60, but a good season. I do think J.J. Piccolo and John Sherman, whoever you want to credit, have shown you I'll address the problems. Because the year they were in it, 2024, what did J.J. do at the deadline? Now, it wasn't like some earth-shattering Johnny Cueto, Ben Zobrist level of move, but the last time the Royals were a playoff team at the deadline, what J.J. Piccolo did is went out and got Lucas Erceg to stir up the bullpen. He went out and got Adam Frazier, which at the time we thought, who cares, ho-hum. That was actually an important move for the team. Like, he made moves to bolster the team and make them postseason ready. So I think if given that opportunity again, the team will act again. So I understand that fear. They didn't make the big splashy move, but I think they can make a move to get better if it is needed. I also think last year the deadline, despite being quasi-sellers, I think they got better as a team. So I don't worry about a will they, won't they mid-season. I actually think they will if it's calling for that.
Someone on the text line says, CDOT, if the Royals have serious flaws in 45 days, then they wait until the trade deadline to make an effort to resolve those issues, then that's a problem. I don't disagree with you, but I'm trying to remain optimistic here. I don't want it to sound like I'm pessimistic. I'm not. But a decent part of Royals' optimism is based on Jack Caglione being good. There's a chance that he's not good. There's a chance. Like, if I told you guys last year, if I could see into the future, and I told you, hey, Jack Caglione is actually going to be a negative for the Royals. All of the hope, all of the optimism, Jack Caglione, day at the K, Mahomes sitting in the no, that's all going to be for nothing because in about 2.5 weeks, you were going to want to get him out of the lineup. You would have said I was wrong. Oh, there's no chance, man. Listen I'm telling you that there's a chance that could happen again. We all are expecting Jack Caglione to figure things out. If we put the poll question out there right now, how many home runs do you think he hits? I think we get a range of somewhere between 15 to 40 on the text line of what we think from Jack Caglione. What if he still stinks? Well, that's a possibility. If Jack Caglione still stinks, they're going to have to make a move at some point, or we are in almost the exact same situation that we are last year with the Royals trying to figure out their outfield situation. So, again, I'm not here to be Debbie Downer. I'm not here to be Buzz Killington, but we at least got to go with that. There's some things with the Royals I am not super worried about heading into the season. Bobby Witt Jr., Maikel Garcia, Vinny Pasquantino. There's some things I have absolutely no questions about because I've seen them do it over time. I don't know how you can go into this season with that level of confidence with Jack Caglione. I'm also optimistic about Carter Jensen. He's played 20 baseball games in September. What if Carter Jensen is not the player that they think he is going to be? If that's the case, then they're going to be an offense that struggles, that's inconsistent, that should have got a more reliable bat in the offseason that could bridge the gap between those things, and you can still make the playoffs.
I would say, to a person who has those pessimistic views and is saying the Royals are basically the same as last year, and what if the young players don't develop, that's fine. I think that's a totally fair complaint. I also think it's fair to say, though, on the other side, the Royals' plan this year is a lot different and better than last year. If we pulled last year's opening day starting lineup for the Royals, it did not have Jack Caglione. It had Hunter Renfroe. Hunter Renfroe was one of the worst outfielders in baseball, and I'm pretty sure he's jobless right now, which shows you what baseball thinks of him. Caglione might not be the guy we think he is. I think he can be better than Hunter Renfroe. In left field, they have Isaac Collins, who 25-year-old rookie last year, got Rookie of the Year votes, but that's old for a rookie. Royals trade for him. He might not be that guy again. You know what I think he's better than? MJ Melendez. we kind of knew MJ Melendez wasn't a thing by this time last year, and yet the Royals were trotting him out there as an everyday left fielder. So I think there's reason for optimism in the fact that last year's team was 80-82. They were basically one terrible month away from being a postseason team, and their opening day roster featured two guys that basically aren't major leaguers anymore. So even if Kaggs isn't the guy and Jensen's not the guy we think he is, and Isaac Collins has a regression, I don't know the regression is going to be at any point worse than what last year's outfield was, which was like historic bad levels.
I can't argue that at all. Text line 913-586-7965. We'll read some of your text. On a scale from 1 to 10, how optimistic, how hopeful are you about the Royals heading into the season? I'm at an 8. Rob's at a 9. I think a lot of people are very high and optimistic about this team. I do have some questions about their outfield and the Royals. I mean, the Royals had a clear problem in left and right field, and they are trusting homegrown options to try to fix some of those issues. Let's see if they end up getting it right. We'll read more of your text here coming up in a bit. Someone asked the question, CDOT, how do you feel about those leaked City Connect uniforms? What was wrong with the ones that they had? Now, I love the Royals uniforms. I love the Royals dark blue unis. I love the Royals white uniforms. I love the sky powder blue uniforms, even though I think they wear them a little bit too much. Like, you got to pull out those on an occasion. Those can't be at every homestand. No, you got to pull out those powder blues when you got Sunday night baseball coming to town. When you got a big Friday night game against the Guardians, that's when you pull out the powder blues. But that's neither here nor there. I love the powder blues. I love the blue unis. So when the Royals said that they were adding an alternate uniform, I was a little skeptical. But those first City Connect uniforms, I'm a big fan of them. I love the blue. I love the fountain on them. I really like their uniforms. I just don't think they need another pair. The ones that they have now with these weird, it's like purple, and I wasn't a big fan of those. I can't see myself going to the store to buy one of those. I would buy one of those other City Connect uniforms. I think those are worth having right now. Like, if you got the standard Bobby Witt jersey and you're now thinking about getting another one, I would get the City Connect uniforms. But at least the ones that I saw linked yesterday that were like on a rack and somebody like clearly took a picture and posted it on the internet, I'm not a big fan of those uniforms. They just scream finesse to me. That's what it seems. It just seems like a Nike money grab, a Fanatics money grab to get you to go buy another jersey. I'd rather just stick to ones they already have.
I don't disagree with you, but can I say this? Can we wait until we see the full jersey with the pants and the hat before we make sweeping
I
indictments?
already know what the pants are. You can tell based off the jersey what those pants are going to look like. Now, the hat could end up surprising me.
Correct.
But the pants, I already know what those pants are going to look like.
Because the jersey I saw, and I'm looking at it right now, the white one that leaked, there's a weird amount of like purple on it. Like, I think they were trying to mesh like red and blue, cause like on the city flag and da-da-da-da. But like there's like maybe it's just the photo in a weird light. There's like a purple tone to it. If the hat or the pants are purple, then this is a big yikes. But I'm going to wait to hold my full opinion until I see the full thing. The hat might be a saving grace. I don't know, but knee jerk was, that's bad. What are we doing here?
Those are the worst uniforms in the city. Those City Connect uniforms of all the teams, of all of them, Kansas,
that's true.
K-State, Mizzou, KC Current, Sporting Kansas City, those City Connect uniforms that leaked yesterday are the absolute worst ones in the city. I don't even think it's close. They're terrible. Please don't wear those uniforms. Please scrap those uniforms. Please just keep wearing the ones you've been wearing. We all like those. Who doesn't like those alternate City Connect unis? Just keep wearing those. You don't need to do anything else. Can I read a text to you about the Royals? Now, I understand. I think I understand the why, but follow me here. CDOT, there's too many ifs when we talk about the Royals. I think they have the pieces, but all it takes is a bad May, and they may not have the talent to make up for a double-digit deficit in the division. I don't think the Royals have a lot of ifs, but I'll go down this thought process. I think the Chiefs have a lot of ifs going into the season, but the hope and expectation is that given their track record, they are going to solve it. I would say that Kansas State football has a lot of ifs heading into the season, but there is a hope, there is a belief that they are going to figure it out. Missouri basketball, despite their incredible recruiting class, got a lot of ifs heading into it. It will not be a shortage of optimism heading into next year. I don't know if having ifs and question marks is a negative, albeit normal, but what I think the difference is in those other analogies and with the Royals is there is going to be a belief that Colin Klein will figure out whatever the problems are in Manhattan. There is obviously that belief with Kansas City, with Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid and the infrastructure and the history of winning that they have done in place. I think this is a scenario with this Royals team is they really have to break through, I think, to get that benefit of the doubt heading into a season. They need to win 89 games, win their division, win a playoff series, and then going into next year, the hope and optimism is going to be, I trust Matt Catraro, I trust Bobby Witt Jr., I trust their nucleus to be able to figure it out. That's where I think the Royals, they haven't had enough time, and they don't have the resume. And we talk about scar tissue with the Chiefs. The Royals certainly have way too much scar tissue, I think, to have 100% undeniable optimism heading into a baseball season because they've gotten it wrong so many times.
I think that's fair by you, and I think it's fair by the texter. But isn't that what the texter asking, just sports in general? Yeah, if they have a bad month and they get deep in a hole, how many teams in sports are talented enough to bounce all the way back? And we can cross sports here. We can go football, basketball, in baseball. I think outside like the Dodgers and maybe the Yankees, how many teams in professional or college sports are good enough where they have a really bad month? They then, for the texter's point, are facing a double-digit deficit in games back, and they're just going to bow up and roar all the way back. I don't know a lot of teams in sports have that level of just talent brimming at all corners of their team.
I agree, but I read the text more as there is an expectation at some point this season. Rob, you and I both know this. The Royals are going to have a normal losing streak. And as optimistic as the text line is right now, when the Royals get swept from May 11th to May 13th, there is going to be a, oh, here it goes again mentality in Kansas City. See, I told you this team wasn't real. Yes, that 14-9 start that they got off to, now they're 14-12. See, the other shoe is about to drop. That's how I hear it more than anything is. I do think, now I think it's a small portion of Royals fans, but everybody's 0-0 now, in theory. When the Royals kind of go through some choppiness, there is not usually the hope that they can get themselves out of it and come out on the other side all right. And I just think it takes time to remove that level of pessimism that the Royals have built up for basically our entire lives.
I also think, and I understand that point, and I'm curious what it will take for that pessimism to be undone. Because the Royals last year in June were bad. There are a lot of words to describe their June, most of which I can't say on the radio. But they came out the other end a 500 baseball team. If you want to say they were 80-82, they were sub 500, cool. They were a 500 team. They overcame adversity and came out largely okay on the other side. That's on the heels of a year where in September they fought adversity. On the other side, they still made the playoffs and won a playoff series. So the sample size of 2 to 3 years, I've seen them start to undo that pessimism, at least with their on-field success, and yet it still exists for fans. How much do the Royals have to do to, kind of get that, oh boy, here we go again, same old Royals out of people's minds? Because it really hasn't been same old Royals in the last 320 baseball games we've seen at Kauffman Stadium, and yet people are still, oh boy, here we go again every single time.
History, time. That's all it takes. History and time. I mean, it's been a while since the Royals, I think, have had that level of optimism about them. And it ended almost as quickly as it started. The Royals thing was like a 18-month fever dream. And then one day we woke up and the Royals were back. So I think people are waiting for reasons to feel very hopeful and optimistic about this team. Can they give them that? Can the Royals head into Memorial Day with a 3-game lead in the division? And if that's the case, we're not having conversations about attendance. People are going out there. I think people want to get behind this baseball team. I really do. I think the Royals have a lot of likable people. I think they are starting to develop household names. Witt's going to be here for a while. Vinny's been here for a while. Garcia took a step forward. Like, I think people want to buy into this team. The Royals just got to give you the reasons to buy in, and they got to give you the reasons to believe. Coming up on the other side, we'll switch things up for a little bit. Let's talk a little bit of college basketball. We got 4 games coming up today. You know what? We'll give you our unofficial, official predictions. That's coming up. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
I mean, come on, guys. What are we doing here?
On your home for Chiefs football, 96.5, The Fan.
Hey guys, this is Rob Brennan from The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, and we're excited to announce the launch of Beyond the Pitch KC, a limited podcast series documenting the run-up to the upcoming World Cup with our friends over at 98.1 KMBZ.
And I'm Scott Parks from Dane and Parks on KMBZ. Beyond the Pitch, KC features the biggest names who helped make the World Cup in Kansas City possible. And there was a lot of work, plus the major storylines heading into this summer's tournament.
This is so much more. This isn't just a podcast about soccer.
No, you're right, Rob. It's a podcast about Kansas City, for Kansas City, telling the story of how our town is hosting the world's biggest sporting event.
New episodes drop every Wednesday starting on March 4th, along with video clips that can be seen on 96.5 The Fan and KMBZ social channels.
So make sure you subscribe. Download Beyond the Pitch KC with Rob Brennan and myself, Scott Parks, on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
You're always better with a roof from JR.
Here they come. A baseball-sized hailstorm means every roofer for 500 miles is on his way here to ring your doorbell. Before that happens, go online to jrstormcheck.com and relax. JR & Company is locally owned, veteran-owned, and family-owned. JR & Company offers a lifetime warranty on workmanship. But best of all, JR & Company offers a free Class 4 shingle upgrade. What does that mean? Most insurance companies offer premium discounts on Class 4 shingles. Remember, no roofer can legally offer to pay your deductible, but a free shingle upgrade can reduce premiums for years to come. Why do we do this? Because we can. A lifetime workmanship warranty and free shingle upgrade. It's why we say,
You're always better with a roof from JR.
Just visit jrstormcheck.com.
Calling all college hoops fans. Make your next bet during March matchups at BetMGM go even further with an odds boost token. Simply add any tournament bet to your bet slip and activate your odds boost token. If that bet hits, you'll walk away with a higher payout for a tournament full of unforgettable moments. BetMGM is your sports book for all of it. Enjoy same-game parlays, live betting through all your favorite games, dark mode, and so much more during March matchups. And when there's a break in the tournament action or you're looking to switch things up, check out daily promotions and offers for all your favorite sports. Don't miss your chance at a bigger March matchup score with BetMGM. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards vary and expire in 7 days. Please gamble responsibly in partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Too many tools, too much stress, and way too many bills.
Odoo replaces it all. One connected platform for every part of your business, so you can work faster, smarter, and for less. Odoo, the only software you'll ever need. Try it free today at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
It's about time delivery worked on your schedule. Same day, next day, or scheduled in advance. However you plan it, the Home Depot delivers the whole job. From drywall to doors, plumbing to paint, we'll get it there when you need it. Because on the job site, timing is everything. You order, we deliver. It's that easy. The Home Depot Pro. It's about time.
Did you know about 1 in 3 people with plaque psoriasis may also develop psoriatic arthritis, which causes joint pain, stiffness, and swelling? Does this sound like you? Listen to what it sounds like to be a million miles away. Tremfya, guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy, and for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Imagine being a million miles away. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Visit Tremfya.com or call 1-800-526-7736.
This afternoon, expect mostly sunny skies with a high of 93.
Weather brought to you by Staples. From posters and presentations to labels and loyalty cards, Staples has all the print to boost your brand. Shop now in-store and online. Staples. That was easy.
This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
All right, welcome back into the show. My name is Carrington Harrison. Very happy to be here with you on this wonderful, wonderful Thursday. Coming up at the top of the hour, Arizona's coach was asked about the jobs that are opening up in college basketball. So was Iowa State's coach. We'll get to that coming up in just a little bit. I want to get you guys all of the audio from the two coaches. We have 4 games that are coming up later today. You know what that sounds like, Rob? Why don't you hit me with a little college basketball music and we'll go through them and get you ready for tonight in college basketball. The first game of the night, that game is between Texas and Purdue. Rob, do you think that Texas can keep this game close? Because I do. I think that Texas is obviously well coached with Sean Miller. I think they have a very good big that you can throw the ball down to that can kind of eliminate some of the long scoreless droughts that college teams have. If you got a guy like that you can throw the ball down to and get a bucket, I think Purdue probably wins this game. I think Texas keeps this game close, and I think we are looking at a game that's going to come down to the final 4 minutes. I would take Texas to cover in this matchup.
So I'm torn here. And this is what happens every year in the tournament, and it's why we love the tournament. Nothing about Texas' resume throughout the season makes me think they can stay in this game.
I agree.
Like, literally nothing. I'm looking at their schedule. I'm looking at their stats. This is a team that they were just mid all season long in college basketball. Like, just the epitome of mediocrity. But now they're peaking at the absolute right time, and there's a thought that, hey, maybe they can get Purdue. And I told you this ahead of the Mizzou first round game. I think Purdue is gettable. I just don't know that this Texas team is the one to get it. Like, what do I think their best win is this season? They lost at Kentucky. They lost at Tennessee. They lost to UConn. They lost to Arizona State. Like, I don't know what this Texas team has done before the tournament. They lost to Ole Miss in the conference tournament. Like, I don't know what this team has done to really inspire that, oh, man, watch out. They're a team that can really make some noise in the tournament. So I think calling them Cinderellas may be a strong term, but I think it turns back into a pumpkin tonight for Texas, and Purdue marches on.
So right now, Texas is a 7.5-point underdog in this matchup. Purdue is minus 375 on the money line. Texas is plus 290 on the money line. The over-under for this matchup is 147.5. I'm going to take Texas. I'm going to take them plus to 7.5. I think this game comes down to the final 4 minutes of the game. The second game of the day is between Iowa and Nebraska, a classic Big Ten matchup. I think this is a fun game in terms of contrast and styles. Now, ultimately, I think Iowa's style is going to win out because if you just walk the ball up the floor every single possession, I think that usually is going to win out in a close game in terms of keeping the score down. But ultimately, I think Nebraska has more talent than I believe Iowa does. And if Bennett Sturts is going to continue to shoot the way that he has in this tournament, maybe that was just a one weekend kind of thing. But if Bennett Sturts is going to continue to shoot like this, I just don't realistically think they have a great chance of advancing in this tournament. I mean, he shot terrible in the first 2 rounds of this thing. He was 9 of 33 from the floor and was 3 of 19 from 3. So you can beat Clemson that way. Shockingly, they pulled off the upset against Florida that way. You do not keep advancing in the NCAA tournament if your best player shoots the ball as poorly as Bennett Sturts has. They need him to play much better basketball if they want to come out of this regional.
I was looking at these two matchups from earlier this year because Iowa and Nebraska have played twice before because they are, in fact, rivals. What? This rivalry have a name, by the way? I've seen a bunch of things floating around.
That's a great question. I don't know what it is.
I don't think it has a name. It needs a name. But Iowa won this game in February. The game was in the 50s. Nebraska won this game right before the end of the postseason. At the end of the regular season, the game was played in the 80s and 70s. This is a classic styles make fights type of game. If Nebraska can get up and down, I don't know, even if Sturt starts making shots, Iowa has enough firepower to keep up. So I think Nebraska's going to win because I think shot making will be a thing they will continue to do, and they will get the pace moving up and down. And if this game's in the 70s, I don't know Iowa can keep up with the Huskers. So give me a team that had no tournament wins, I think, going to the Elite Eight tonight in Nebraska.
Yeah, I mean, Vegas has this as a virtual coin flip kind of game. Nebraska is a 1.5 point favorite in this game. Looking at the money line, Nebraska is minus 122. Iowa's plus 102. So Vegas is telling you that this is a virtual coin flip kind of game. I do think you have to give Nebraska the advantage. Nebraska has been the better team this season, but in a game like this, I mean, you could very easily see this being a 61-60 kind of game. The over-under is at 131. So Vegas is telling you they think that this is a very low-scoring affair. And if that's the case, then obviously Iowa has a chance to pull off the upset. In the nightcap, I would say we got two Final Four quality kind of games. We got Arizona and Arkansas going up against each other. So you got two of the best young freshmen in college basketball going up against each other, two of the more high-scoring teams. To give you a comparison, the Arizona-Arkansas over-under is at 165. Illinois in Houston is 139. So just they think this is going to be an up-and-down game scored into the 80s. I think Arizona blows Arkansas out today. I think they cover this 8.5. I know Arizona's going to be able to score. I'm not entirely sure if Arkansas is going to be able to score enough with the defense that I think Arizona has. I think Arizona's the best team in the country. I think they continue to showcase that the way they have so far in this tournament. Give me Arizona minus the 8.5. I like them big tonight. I think they win this game by 12.
We see this game very similar. The only way Arkansas has a chance is if Darius Acuff just goes nuts. Because he has the talent to do it.
For sure.
But I think Arizona can throw way too many bodies at Arkansas. Like Koa Pete, Berries, they got Krivas, they got the Big 12 Player of the Year, the fourth player I'm mentioning in Jaden Bradley. Like Arizona just has too many bodies. They're too good defensively. I've seen them dominate the league this year, and the league I think is the best in college basketball. I think Arizona is going to take care of business, and Arizona's also my national champion, but unless Acuff goes for 30-plus tonight, I just think Arizona is too deep to be a problem for Arkansas.
The last game that we have tonight, we have Illinois going up against Houston. Houston is a 2.5 point favorite. They see this as being a coin flip game as well. Houston minus 144 on the money line. Illinois plus 120 on the money line. They're a 2.5 point dog. This is another game in which I think Houston could actually kind of run away with this one. I like Houston kind of convincing today. I think Houston is just such a tough defensive team to match up with that I think they really take control of this. I think they'll feed off of basically being at home today in the NCAA tournament. Of all the bets, if you just gave me one bet today, you gave me one free bet right now on FanDuel, I would take Houston minus 2.5. That's my favorite one tonight.
I think we see the exact same way here again. My one hesitation is there was that stretch in the middle of February where Houston looked bad. Where they lost to Iowa State, they lost to Arizona, and they lost to Kansas in 3 straight games. I think they lost to Tech in like a 5-game stretch in that window too. And they looked exceedingly average. And then ever since then, they've looked like the Houston of old, just bullying people defensively. I still worry about if they have enough front court to be a problem, but I don't know that Illinois can exploit that, and Kingston Flemings is really good. We don't talk about him as a draft pick because he's probably going to be in that 7-8 range, but he's a really good player. The fact we see so many of these games tonight similar makes me nervous that we're going to be way off, but I think
the favorites have just been so dominant in this game. That's really been the thing is it's hard to go against the favorites. Now, that's in the first and the second round, and now the cream rises to the top. I mean, out of the games that we have today, I mean, 2 of these games Vegas is telling you is virtual coin flips, and out of the 2 games that they are telling you are going to be a blowout, 1 of those games will end up being close. Texas will be better than people think tonight, or Arkansas will be better than people think tonight. One of those 2 teams is going to cover. That's just the way the gambling works when it comes to all this. So, yeah, I think it's going to be an exciting night of college basketball. I would say that this is a little bit of everything. You got a team in Texas that people didn't expect to be here, a team in Purdue that's been one of the 10 best teams in college basketball all year. You got 2 teams that aren't traditional basketball schools that pop up and have success. You have two games at night between 4 teams that have been in the conversation all year, and you got 4 marquee freshmen playing in the nightcap today. I mean, that's basically what college basketball has been this season. I think that tonight's window is pretty indicative of the kind of season that we have had. We'll keep the college basketball conversation coming up at the top of the hour. Iowa State's coach talked about job openings. Arizona's coach talked about job openings. We'll get to it next. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on Kansas City's only FM sports station, 96.5 The Fan. When severe weather hits, tune in to 98.1 KMBZ for Operation Stormwatch. Brought to you by Century Roofing. Proudly voted the #1 roofing company in all of Kansas City. CenturyRoofingKC.com.
What's up? It's Draymond Green. I'm back for my 14th NBA season, and my podcast, The Draymond Green Show, is back too. This season, I'm breaking down games, reacting to the biggest NBA stories, and sitting down with teammates, rivals, and culture shapers. And trust me, I'm not holding back, on the court or on the mic. 2 new episodes every week. New segments, big conversations, real basketball talk for the real hoop heads. Listen to and follow The Draymond Green Show wherever you get your podcasts. We're back. We're better. Let's get it.
Hey guys, it's Rob Brennan from The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, and we're excited to announce the launch of Beyond the Pitch KC, a limited podcast series documenting the run-up to the upcoming World Cup with our friends over at 98.1 KMBZ.
And I'm Scott Parks from Dana Parks on KMBZ. Beyond the Pitch, KC features the biggest names who helped make the World Cup in Kansas City possible. And there was a lot of work, plus the major storylines heading into this summer's tournament.
This is so much more. This isn't just a podcast about soccer.
No, you're right, Rob. It's a podcast about Kansas City, for Kansas City, telling the story of how our town is hosting the world's biggest sporting event.
New episodes drop every Wednesday starting on March 4th, along with video clips that can be seen on 96.5 The Fan and KMBZ social channels.
So make sure you subscribe. Download Beyond the Pitch KC with Rob Brennan and myself, Scott Parks, on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, if you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it.
Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of essentials. Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence Data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
Right now, new FanDuel customers can get $300 back in bonus bets every day for 10 days. Here's how it works. Place a tournament bet using the token. If it doesn't win, you'll get $300 back in bonus bets every single day for 10 straight days. That doesn't matter if it's the money line, the point spread. Maybe you want to play a futures on who you think is going to make the playoffs in the fall. You can do all of that with our friends over at FanDuel. You can even mix things up with the same game parlay for a shot at an even bigger payout. All you need to do, visit FanDuel.com/local to sign up today. That's FanDuel.com/local. Remember, place a tournament bet using the token. If it doesn't win, you'll get $300 back in bonus bets every single day. So it doesn't matter if it's for the brackets or baseball season. You want to be with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook app, and also the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 in President, Missouri. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire 7 days on the street. Tokens are received in increments of 1 per day. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Furnished by IntelliBrands.
Have you ever felt leg pain, restlessness, cramps, tingling, swelling, numbness, itchiness, or coldness? Then you need the new patented Legsercise Pro, the natural circulation booster that uses continuous automatic leg movement to soothe pain and promote healthy circulation the natural, drug-free way.
Using Legsercise made walking painless again.
Legsercise Pro's patented walking simulator propulsion technology moves your feet back and forth along its concave track, creating constant movement and flex at both the knee and ankle joints. It's like having a physical therapist right in your own home.
I have much less swelling and no more tingling.
Call right now and order your very own Legsercise Pro, the new proven automatic leg mover that soothes pain and naturally promotes healthy circulation. Call 800-555-1212. That's 800-555-1212. 800-555-1212 now.
These statements and products have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition.
Burns on Deck show for the Royals home opener against the Twins on March 30th starts at 2. First pitch just after 3. All right here on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan. KFNC FM and AM HD1 and HD2 Kansas City in Odyssey Sports Station.
I promise you we'll get to college basketball here. I got distracted. Sometimes that's a flaw of mine, and I want to apologize, but this is something that affects a majority of us. They are raising the price on Netflix again. This is the second time in less than a year that they are raising the prices on Netflix. So if you have the version that has ads, it's $7.99. It is going to be $8.99. If you have the standard without ad plan, so the basic plan that we have all had for years now, Rob, that is going from $17.99 to $19.99. If you have the premium plan, which at this point, if you have the premium plan, then money is not an option for you. That is $24.99 currently. That will be raising up to $26.99. Rob, that is the new pricing structure for Netflix. I'm going to look this up here on how often they have raised prices over there. Why do you got to keep doing this? We didn't ask you guys to sign up for these Jake Paul fights. Is that why we're raising the prices? So we can get these Jake Paul fights? Are you guys raising the prices so we can watch this guy walk up the skyscraper? I didn't ask for this kind of content. Keep releasing good shows. Keep releasing quality documentaries. Give us movies that were in the movie theater, that when they are done in the movie theater, I don't got to order them off Amazon Prime. You are now going to put them on the website. I don't even need you guys to be in the movie making business. I don't need you guys making the rip. No. Make documentaries, make TV shows, acquire other movies, and when a movie leaves the theaters, like Sinners, put it on Netflix. That's all we need them to do, Rob. Why are they raising the price on us again? This is the second time in a year. We've had it. Enough is enough.
I believe they're about to go through a merger, too, so it might get worse another time. I mean, it's about to get bad.
I know, it doesn't. I mean, I understand. You could just drop it. No, you can't. You can't just drop Netflix. That's not the way that it's set up. That's not the way that it's set up anymore. They got NFL games on there now. They got baseball games on there now. They got fights on there. They got live events on there. At this point, you just got to sign up to whatever they have. Rob, it was $12.99 before COVID. It was $12.99 before COVID. Now it's $20. I'm not going to do anything but just complain about it. But you used to be able to share a password. The whole family used to have Netflix. Now they really cracked down on that. I mean, they really just watered down the experience. I'm doing all that so I can watch His and Hers. That's what I'm doing all this for. I'm doing all of this to watch the Tyra Banks documentary on America's Next Top Model. I don't want to sign up for this anymore. Please let me out of this experience. I'm sorry for complaining, y'all. I just had to do it. I know I'm not the only one. Text line 913-586-7965. I know you're tired of Netflix continuing to raise the prices on us too. This now means that YouTube TV about to raise the price too. You know, they can't wait to raise the price. They can't wait to raise the price, and then they'll tell us that we are wrong because we want ESPN to be on there. You know, they can't wait right before football season. They always have some rights issue right when football's about to start. Right when football's about to get going on September 15th, it's, oh, we're having an issue with Disney. Well, fix it. That's what I'm paying you $70 a month for. Fix it. All right, let me calm down. I'm sorry, y'all. I apologize. I want to play two pieces of audio for you guys. The first one, this is the head coach at Arizona. Rob, if Bill Self announces that he is going to retire, this is the person that you want to be the head coach, right? Number one on your wish list is Tommy Lloyd at Arizona. Is this correct?
He is 1A, 1B. He and Dusty May are top of the list. That is my list.
Okay, that's fair. Well, we don't have Dusty May's comments yet, but we do have Tommy Lloyd's comments. Now, he was asked about the North Carolina job because that is open, but I would imagine that this same comment applies to the Kansas job, which could come open. Here's Tommy Lloyd.
What I'll say, Seth, is I already have one of the best jobs in the country. And one thing we talk about in our program all the time, and I think I've gotten better at, and I think our team's been crushing it this year, is just the ability to have full focus and be present in the moment. And so I think we have a great team. I think we have a chance to advance in this tournament game by game, but I'm not delusional. I know we could lose tomorrow, but this team deserves my full focus. So there's not one thing that is going to knock me off my path. I'm 100% focused on Arizona basketball and this program, and I can't wait till the ball gets thrown up tomorrow, and then can't wait to try to figure out a way to come out on top.
He didn't really say no.
I'm happy you heard the same thing.
He didn't say no. He didn't say that he was leaving. He didn't say that he was staying. That wasn't like an unequivocal, I am here. For example, now I know people are like, well, what are you supposed to say? I can play for you guys Dan Lanning. And anytime Dan Lanning is asked about this, he gives a very clear, I am not leaving Oregon. Do not talk to me. I am more than happy here in Eugene, and we are going to continue to keep winning here. That is a emphatic no. That ain't really what I heard from Tommy Lloyd. Now, that's not to say that he is not going to leave or that he is going to stay. Regardless, he is about to get a significant raise. For example, Bill Self is the highest paid coach in college basketball. I mean, he makes $8.8 million. Tommy Lloyd makes $5.2 million. So even if he is not taking the Kansas job, hey, if the job that pays the most is offering me a contract and I'm winning national championships, I'm competing for national championships, I'm going to Final Four, we got the best program in college basketball, I'm getting a raise, a significant raise if that needs to be the case. So maybe Tommy Lloyd is just playing the business side of all of this, but I didn't really hear those comments as a emphatic, I'm here at Arizona. He said, this job requires my full focus and I have a good job. I mean, I know all of that. You didn't really say you're not taking the Carolina job, though.
I mean, it definitely – now, we can play TJ Otzelberger in a minute, and we can play Jeff Goodman because we don't have to wait for Dan Lanning. TJ Otzelberger was a little more definitive in I love it here. Basically, what Tommy Lloyd said was, I have a good job, and we have a game tonight, and we're excited to play the game, and I think our team can win the game. And then he started talking about, once the ball's tipped, I'm excited to be at Arizona. That's not a no, Tommy. It's just not. I don't know that Tommy Lloyd's leaving Arizona, but there have been much more definitive statements about loving your job than what he said. He's kind of talked about basketball, which is kind of nothing.
So that is Arizona's head coach. I want to play for you guys what Iowa State's head coach had to say, TJ Otzelberger. He also met with the media, and I mean, your name is just going to come up in these jobs. You're doing a fantastic job, and people are going to ask you, are you interested in North Carolina? Would you be interested in Kansas if they open up? TJ Otzelberger, I would guess, is on the short list if the Kansas job opens up. I imagine he is on the short list also at North Carolina. Here's what he said when he's asked about his future.
First, I'd just like to start by saying any speculation with me and any other jobs or opportunities is not true. the coach of the Cyclones. Thrilled to be the coach of the Cyclones. And what I can say to you even more as we move forward together is the alignment on our campus with Dr. Cook, Jamie Pollard is amazing, and we're thrilled and excited about our future together. So really appreciative and grateful to Jamie Pollard and David Cook and conversations we've had. And so just excited about our future. So that's topic number one. There's no questions about it. There's nothing to talk about. There's nothing else to answer. That's the truth.
So that is what TJ Otzelberger had to say. I would say that sounds a lot to me closer to what Chris Kleiman used to say. Chris Kleiman would never say no to these jobs, but I think if you read between the lines, Chris Kleiman made it pretty clear that I am not leaving Kansas State University. Let me play for you what Jeff Goodman had to say. Jeff Goodman super plugged in on this. He said that TJ Otzelberger is not a candidate at North Carolina.
TJ Otzelberger is not in the mix at Carolina by his own doing, not by Carolina's doing. He was in that first tier according to sources. And TJ Otzelberger, man, give him credit. He's a different dude because most guys would walk from Ames to Chapel Hill. And he loves it there. He loves Jamie Pollard. He's loyal. And, they're going to take care of him. He's obviously built up equity here. He's got 3 Sweet 16s in 5 years. And the family part of it is huge for him, right? He's got kids that are, in the age of 9, 11 years old. So I think he was worried a little bit, too, about hey, how does this change everything for me? I go to Carolina, it's a fishbowl, right? I'm never going to see my family.
So that is Jeff Goodman saying that TJ Otzelberger is not a candidate in North Carolina. I am just going to guess and speculate if he's not interested in the North Carolina job, I would also imagine that he is not interested in the Kansas job. So I just think he's staying. I don't think that's a slide on North Carolina as a program. I don't think it's a potential slide on Kansas. I think it is I'm happy where I'm at. I've got a good job that pays well with a very passionate fan base that loves and supports this team. I want to continue to be here and plant my roots here. I don't think there's anything wrong with that philosophy, but at least that's how I hear it based on those 2 audio clips. I do not think that TJ Otzelberger is leaving. I expect him to be the head coach at Iowa State next year. Tommy Lloyd, I don't know based on that answer, but I do think that TJ Otzelberger is going to stay.
Otzelberger, even before Goodman's comments, was much more definitive in what he was saying. But, I don't think you're wrong to say that he'd be out for Kansas and North Carolina. I also think North Carolina is a very different job than Kansas. They're similar, but North Carolina is a little bit different because you have to uproot your family and go from Ames to Chapel Hill. It's a little bit more uprooting than Ames to Lawrence. But I do agree with you. I think he's out for all the jobs.
Coming up on the other side, I want to talk about a story that I don't think is getting nearly the level of national conversation that it should. We'll talk about it next. I'll tell you what it is. Keep it right here, it's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
On MLB opening day, baseball isn't just back. It's back on NBC and Peacock. And leading off, it's a coast-to-coast doubleheader. First, the Pirates take on the Mets in NYC. Then in primetime, the Diamondbacks visit the World Series champion Dodgers. Let's start the show. MLB is back on NBC and Peacock. Today, 1 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Eastern.
Well, it's Carrington Harrison from The Drive here. Let me ask you a couple of questions. Do you have poor sleep? What about low energy? How about brain fog, a reduced sex drive, weight gain, and workouts that just don't deliver like they used to? Well, the problem could be low testosterone. And the truth is, those testosterone levels can start declining as early as your 30s, 2 or 3% every single year. And before you know it, you just don't feel like the same man you did back in the day. Well, you don't have to accept this as just aging. Heartland Men's Health specializes in customized testosterone therapy and targeted body composition plans. You might think you have low T. Well, pick up the phone and call this number, 844-447-6600, or check out the website and take this simple 10-question quiz. Visit heartlandmenshealth.com. Your initial visit is just $100, includes a medical consultation, a PSA test, and lab results in about 30 minutes, and your treatment can start that day. 3 locations, Overland Park, Independence, North Kansas City. There's no need to wait. Go stop by and see my friends over at Heartland Men's Health.
Featured therapies are compounded and have not been evaluated nor approved by the FDA. Provider prescription required. See website for details.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
The smartest way to spend your money is not to. Straight Talk offers free 5G phones for new and existing customers on Verizon's 5G network.
Feeling the heat? Don't sweat it. Turn to Comfort Systems Heating and Cooling. With temperatures rising, now's the time to make sure your AC is ready to keep you cool. Whether it's your home or your business, Comfort Systems services both residential and commercial systems across the Kansas City area. Call today for a fast tune-up, repair, or a system upgrade so you can stay cool all summer long. Family owned and operated since 1990. Comforting people is what we do. Comfort Systems is right for you. MyComfortSystems.com.
On MLB opening day, baseball isn't just back, it's back on NBC and Peacock. And leading off, it's a coast-to-coast doubleheader. First, the Pirates take on the Mets in NYC. Then in primetime, the Diamondbacks visit the World Series champion Dodgers. Let's start the show. MLB is back on NBC and Peacock. Today, 1 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Eastern.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
The smartest way to spend your money is not to. Straight Talk offers free 5G phones for new and existing customers on Verizon's 5G network. So the refund money I don't spend on that free phone is the refund money I get to keep for my family. Smart.
Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Taxes and fees apply. Plan purchase required for free phone offers. Copyright 2026 Verizon.
Honey, that flu keeping you up? Did you take NyQuil Intense Flu?
Nah, I got this. Okay, I don't got this.
Yeah, you need NyQuil Intense Flu.
Undo your flu with NyQuil Intense Flu. NyQuil Intense Flu provides powerful relief of your flu symptoms so you can sleep.
You do got this.
NyQuil Intense Flu. The nighttime sniffling, aching fever. Best sleep with the flu medicine. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
Okay, we've got a crash 49 northbound just before 155th. Right lane is blocked. Scoot to the left through there. Also, that is a crash 70 westbound. The on-ramp from Nolan. Be prepared to tap your brakes. A stall just before that. Well, 70 westbound before Blue Ridge. Scoot to the left through there. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
This is 96.5 The Fan, your home for Chiefs football.
All right, I want to play one more college basketball cut, and I promise you we'll talk about what I teased. You want to know what I like about Will Wade? He's old school college basketball. Old school college basketball, old school college football is, I'm going to do what's in my best interest. To hell with these kids. That's what I really appreciate about Will Wade. He's old school. This is Rick Pitino. That's what this is. This is, I'm going to always operate in what I think is in my best interest. That's what college athletics is really about. So Will Wade, he was cheating at LSU. They had to let him go because he got caught up in all that FBI investigation. The same FBI investigation that Kansas got caught up in. Neither here nor there. LSU had to let him go. He then had to go to McNeese State. Nobody wanted to touch him. NC State, they gave him a chance. He coached at NC State for 1 year. LSU called back just a week ago. He was talking about how he wanted to stay at NC State and how he didn't sign up for this to be a year and how he wanted to build at NC State. No. This is my issue. Text line 913-586-7965. Now, I got problems with the transfer portal, too. I'm not here telling you I think the transfer portal is perfect, but we don't seem to be mad at Will Wade for coaching at 3 schools in 3 years. KU fans, if Bill Self stepped down, you guys want Ben McCollum. Ben McCollum will have coached at 4 years or 4 schools at 4 years. We don't seem to have a problem that coaches are doing the exact same thing. But when the kids do it, it's what's wrong with the sport, and it's damaging the competitive balance. What's good for the goose has to be good for the gander, and that bothers me when it comes to college athletics. Here's Will Wade out here just being slimy.
You're going to get everything you need to win at the highest level going back to LSU. You've got support there. You've got people that want you there, and they're going to give you everything you need. You know, NIL, probably in the $12, $15 million range. He wasn't going to get that at NC State.
It's a lot of money.
The NC State AD, I don't think ever wanted to hire him in the first place, Boo Corrigan. I think it was the pressure, the money pressure from the boosters, everybody else saying we have to hire Will Wade. So I think now he goes back home to LSU. I mean, it is only Will Wade could pull this off. Only Will Wade. They love him there. They don't care what happened before. They'll bring him back and give him every opportunity to succeed.
Where is all this money coming from down at LSU? You guys have the answer to this? Because they got all this money to pay off the buyout for Lane Kiffin for the football team, then sign him to a deal, give him all the NIL money that he needs to go be successful as they try to go win a national championship. They have the money to go buy out Will Wade's contract. And according to Jeff Goodman, their plan is to give him $12 to $15 million when it comes to NIL. He don't even got to cheat no more. He can just go get it the old school way, just drop off bags. Where's all this money coming from down at LSU, man? Do you know this? They might really be the answer for the best athletic department if they just got Brink's truck backing up like this. You know what really excites me about college basketball? We're starting to get back to having the villains. There was a time there where I think we were all very about college basketball. We didn't know any of the players. We didn't know any of the coaches. We didn't know anybody playing men's college basketball. No, not anymore. You know who Mick Cronin is, and if you don't know, you certainly have heard one of his press conferences before. You know who Dan Hurley is. You know who Will Wade is, cheater. You know who Rick Pitino is. He's back in major college basketball. I'm happy that we're starting to get back to the heroes and villains in college basketball. That's how I like my sport. I like my sport to have a little bit of villain when it comes to college basketball. I like a Kelvin Sampson who sent thousands of text messages to kids now getting another chance to get a program. That's what college athletics is really about. Let's get back to that. Let that old school feeling back.
You know what I've learned recently in college sports? Fast food CEOs make a lot more money than I knew. Because according to the text line, the Raising Cane CEO is an LSU alum and donor. They might have three of the most expensive coaches in men's, women's, and college football of any department in America.
Yeah, they're not playing no games over there.
Crumble Cookie basically made BYU untouchable the last year. AJ DeBansta got $8 million in cookie money. What I've learned in college athletics is if you got an alumni in fast food who went to your school, you are set. You are set for life. That is what I have learned in college athletics. Raising Cane's money goes hard like that?
Yeah, I'm telling you. All you really need to be good is have one really rich person. That's all you really need to be good. You need a David Booth. You need a Raising Cane CEO. You need a Mark Cuban. If you don't know who your school's big booster is, then you're probably not that good at sports.
Who's that from Mizzou? There's got to be one, right? That football program ain't free. Who's the guy?
They don't have a set guy. They don't have. That's what I mean. They don't have that guy,
which is crazy because
they do money well when it comes to NIL, but I think they're piecing it from a couple of different places. They don't have
Tyson Chicken guy.
Yeah, they don't have the Tyson Chicken guy that's just paying for everything. They don't have the T-Boone Pickens or Phil Knight that's just paying for everything. That's what you need. Who's the guy down at Texas Tech? The oil guy?
Cody Campbell.
Just paying for everything. Just what do you need?
It's got to be wild when Mahomes walks into those NIL meetings and he's the poorest guy in the room.
Broke boy. What's the guy's name at Texas Tech?
I think it's Cody Campbell's his name.
Cody Campbell? Okay, yeah, American businessman. Let's see. What do you think his net worth is? He's 44 years old. What do you think his net worth is?
Oh, if he's 44 and this is American businessman, it's got to be a huge number here.
He recently closed a $4 billion deal. Okay, all right.
Good start.
Let's look this up here. He's out here. He recently sold his company in 2021 for $6.4 billion. And then he made another deal in 2025 that totaled over $4 billion. So if you ever wondered how Texas Tech got really good really fast at things, Cody Campbell, he's the reason how they got really good really quickly at things.
He's 44 and he made 2 multi-billion-dollar deals.
Yeah,
He's basically done. He's basically out. If he didn't want to fund Texas Tech, he could live on a beach forever.
Yeah, for sure. I'm sitting here looking at it. He is an oil-made billionaire. Shout out to him, man. Shout out to him. You know, salute. So that's my kind of college athletics there. You need just a really rich person paying for everything. You know, just this money doesn't matter to me. Giving you guys $15 million for my hobby of watching basketball is not really that big of a deal. How much do you need? There we go. We're getting back to the essence of what real college athletics, what it's really about. I appreciate it. All right, Rob, I forgot what I teased now. I got completely distracted with talking about college athletics and the cheating. What were we about to talk about? I apologize.
You mentioned that there's a big story that the national media isn't talking about.
Oh, yeah. Puka Nacua. You guys know as crazy as you think Rashee Rice is? Puka Nacua is equally as crazy as you think Rashee Rice is. Have you guys heard the latest accusation with Puka Nacua? Now, he had some other accusations. He now has a new accusation, which leads me to ask the question, because whenever Rashee Rice was in trouble, people were saying he should get cut, he's going to get a multiple game suspension, this, that, and the third. TMZ is reporting that, I'm reading you directly from the news, Los Angeles Rams star Puka Nacua has reportedly been accused of biting a woman and making anti-Semitic comments, according to TMZ. The woman made the allegations in a rejected application of a temporary restraining order after an alleged incident on New Year's Eve. The reporter for Puka Nacua said that this is a shakedown attempt and that the bite left nothing more than a temporary mark. Now, TMZ has a picture of the bite. He looked like Scruff McGruff, and he took a bite out of crime. That wasn't no little bite. That was not a baby bite. No, that was a big-time bite. Like he was biting a Granny Smith apple is what he was doing. I'm not trying to justify Rashee Rice's actions. I'm not here trying to justify Puka Nacua's actions. All I'm saying is all the conversations we've had about Rashee Rice and how many games he's going to be suspended and he should be cut and all these kind of things, I'm telling you that there is an NFC version of him that is doing the exact same stuff. He's just good enough at football that we talk about him being good at football too, in addition to the wild stuff that he's been doing over the last 6 months. This is not the first Puka Nacua incident over the last 90 days. He has had multiple incidents over the last 90 days. This is just the more recent incident that he has had, and he has a hearing scheduled in 2 weeks. He bit that woman, allegedly.
Where I think is different than Rashee Rice is, and I don't want to compare things, Rashee Rice has the thing this offseason. He also has the speed racer thing, which Nacua doesn't have an equivalent. Nacua has other stuff, but it is not, breaking news leading Sports Center type of stuff. At least not yet. I don't know. You never know what's in the future, but he doesn't have the Dallas highway incident level of problem
for sure.
yet.
He does not have that incident, which is clearly worse than anything that Puka Nacua has done. He has certainly done enough things, I would say, over the last 90 days that he is probably going to have to sit down with Roger Goodell at some point. Probably. My only point, I know people hate when I say this, and I know that you want 90 choir boys when it comes to your football team, and you don't want anybody to, I don't think that that's realistic if you are building a successful football team. I think there is a measure of nonsense and tomfoolery that you just are going to deal with if you run a football team. And clearly the Rams have made the point with Puka Nacua of, hey, we think we got the best receiver in the National Football League. This just comes with it sometimes. If you guys see the bite mark, it's crazy. Like legitimately crazy. And his lawyer's saying, oh, she's trying to hit him up for cash. I mean, that's their number one thing to say when they've done wrong. Oh, this is just a shakedown. Nah, look like you bit her to me. What it look like to me? She says you said an anti-Semitic mark, and then she's got a video mark of it. This wasn't like a small love bite. Maybe that's what you're into. I'm not here to judge. But this wasn't like a small little nibble. We just having a little fun. Nah, they took a bite out of crime on this young lady. You're a criminal in my mind, allegedly. But Puka Nacua, we'll see what happens.
This feels like a stern talking to from the
Oh,
commissioner.
for sure.
I think is this the second time he's had some alleged anti-Semitic behavior? He's had some other stuff pop up. I can't remember what it was, but it was all more localized. This one's getting a little more national traction.
No, for sure. Someone on the text line says, CDOT, but we don't know the whole story. She could have been hitting him, so he bit her. If so, I'm down with that. Oh, okay. I'm telling you, his comments don't even reflect that that's what happened. Like, these, like, listen to this. If that was the situation, if I am in a situation with the person I'm with is hitting on me and I bit her to defend myself, you know what I don't want my lawyer to say to TMZ? This whole thing is nothing more than a shakedown attempt and the bite left nothing more than a temporary mark. That is not making it sound like I was in defense of myself. It sounds to me like we was getting Mr. Freaky Naughty and I bit her, and that's my side is. Her side is he attacked me. My side is we was having a little role play and I was being vampire in Brooklyn. That's what his comments sound like to me. Not like he was protecting himself in a domestic violence situation. That is not what it sounds like.
And it's also weird that his lawyer doesn't deny the alleged anti-Semitic comment that led to the bite. That defense by the lawyer leaves a lot more questions than answers. But okay.
Someone on the text line says, "See, you don't see this in baseball, soccer, and basketball players. These football dudes are insane." I don't think we really want to know just think about how you have to be for that to be your job. Like, I get it. You get a lot of cool stuff with it. You know what you constantly got to do to be a great football player? Like, the mindset you have to get into to be really, really good at football, where you say, to hell with my body, to hell with my health. I'm just going to run full speed into other people and try to tackle them. And think about it. Like, that's like a badge of honor. A badge of honor of, man, I just broke my pinky. Hey, let's tape it up and let's keep playing. What we ask of baseball players and soccer players and basketball players versus what we ask for football players, if that's what you do for a profession, yeah, a large majority of them are probably a little bit off. A large majority of them are probably, I don't know, just a little different cats. I think you got to be wired differently to be really, really good at football for most people. So, yeah, no, you're right. Football players, they're weird. They're absolutely weird. But it's, in essence, they are very violent people. And I think that society then asks them to turn that violence off, which a large majority of them have the ability to do it. We clearly see there is a percentage of them that have really no ability in being able to turn it off. And sometimes they get into trouble. And that's why I say, I know it's a very uncomfortable conversation. I'm not excusing what these guys do. Everybody's got to follow rules. I don't care how good you are at football. I genuinely believe that it is impossible to build a really successful football team and your team not be prepared to deal with some of the issues that happen when you have 90 football players together with money and free time. Somebody on your team is just going to do something. And if you just got a no-nonsense policy of we are cutting you off the team, the moment you do this, I don't know if you can win meaningful football games or have lasting success if that is the way that you are going to operate your football team. You have just signed up for some issues. You knew some of the question marks that happened with Rashee Rice. You knew some of the question marks with Puka Nacua. They are just now popping up more and more because we know who they are. Now they got money, and now TMZ is looking for it. TMZ wasn't really tracking Rashee Rice when he was at SMU or Puka Nacua. I can't remember what college you went to.
BYU.
Yeah, they were not. Now you play for the Los Angeles Rams. Now you play for the Kansas City Chiefs. Now we are interested in finding out more about you, and we're finding more out. We're finding out that Puka Nacua, he likes to role play as a vampire, like he is Team Edward.
Those are also two guys that, before they were in TMZ, were next up for contracts after JSN. I think Puka still gets one, but he definitely has cost himself some millions by doing all this sorts of stuff.
Rob, can you tell me why Jackson County had that press conference earlier today? Like, I've really been trying to think about this for the first hour and a half of the show. So for those of you that missed it, there was a announcement earlier today that Jackson County had an announcement, a major announcement regarding the future of the Truman Sports Complex. and they were going to tell us at 11 o'clock. Now, I normally get in around 11 o'clock, but I stayed home because I didn't want to be in the car. Hey, let me stay here. I'll talk to Rob, and then I'll come in after it's over because I'm thinking I'm assuming that this announcement could change the course of our day. Sometimes you have those days in our job. You spend all night thinking of this thing. Next thing you know, you wake up and this trade happened, and everything that you were going to work on, you're not going to do anymore because that's not the news anymore. When I heard major announcement about the future of the Truman Sports Complex, I was thinking, all right, okay, let's see what happens. They made an announcement to tell us that they don't have an announcement, that they are putting together a committee. Why didn't you have that committee together the moment the Chiefs made the announcement? The Chiefs made the announcement that they were leaving in December. It's the end of March. What have you been doing for the last 90 days, if not for putting a task force together to figure out what the future of the Truman Sports Complex is? What have you guys been working on? What have you been doing? Because you guys aren't working on the baseball stadium. Supposedly, the city is working on the baseball stadium. They don't need Jackson County's approval for the baseball stadium. That's Mayor Q. That's his team. That's the city of Kansas City, Missouri. Now, everybody is trying to be on the same page and work together. But what have you been doing for the last 90 days if it's not talking about the future of the Truman Sports Complex? Sometimes I think the transparency is really overvalued. I get it. We all want to know. We're all inquiring. We all are nosy in a lot of ways. Sometimes, hey, just tell me when it's done. I don't need to know the process of everything. I don't want to know the process of everything. I don't need to know, like, let's say that the Royals behind the scenes, for example, I'm going to go with this. Let's assume in this hypothetical that the Royals are buying up buildings downtown and they're trying to secure all of those contracts on the front end as opposed to the back end. Because last time they wanted this space, they didn't have all their I's dotted and T's crossed, and their plan was, well, when we get this vote, then we'll start to negotiate. No. What if the Royals are doing it the opposite side? Hey, we really want this building, but we're going to continue to go back and forth with the business owner, and let's secure this contract. I don't want the Royals every day to come on here and tell us that they secured another bit of land. No, when you secure all the land, then you come tell us what the plan is. Sometimes transparency is overvalued. Why do they need to have a press conference today to tell us that they are still talking about what the future of the Truman Sports Complex is? Okay, well, whenever you got a plan, then notify us what the plan is. But we don't need to know that you are planning to have a plan. That's what we all assumed anyway.
I also think, now, there is no plan. There was a plan to have a plan. Let's talk about the renderings for 1 second. Jackson County has had, 60 years to develop the Truman Sports Complex?
Yeah.
And in those 60 years, they've had 2 sports franchises down there. They've had 2 mega stadiums. And what have they developed?
Nothing.
A Taco Bell. Is Adams Mark still around?
Nah, they've actually turned into a pickleball place now.
Oh, well, okay.
It's pickleball over there.
So I'll give them half. So they've developed 1.5 things down there in 60 years. And now we're having a press conference to announce that we're going to form a committee, and that committee will then announce ideas. Here's some renderings of ideas, and we're going to develop the area. Why weren't you developing the area over the last 60 years? Maybe the Chiefs wouldn't have left for a, shopping business district if you had developed it more than just concrete jungle. It feels all very odd. The whole thing. Like, the plan now is to develop the area. Why didn't you have this plan 2 years ago? Hey, when the Royals announced that they were looking to move, why didn't you work with the teams on developing the area as opposed to waiting and waiting and waiting? And now neither team's going to be at the Truman Sports Complex, so now's the time to strike and build something down there. It was all foolish.
Text line 913-586-7965. CDOT, by every definition of announcement, it was an announcement. Yeah, you're right. 100%. Jackson County called a press conference saying they had a major announcement to tell us that they are putting together a task force. That was the major announcement. That's an email. That's a press release. You didn't need to call a press conference for that. You didn't need to call KCTV5 to come out here for that. I mean, if that's what we're counting, as they said they had a major announcement, and their major announcement was, we are putting together a team to figure out a plan, then no, you're right. You know what? I got an announcement. At 5 o'clock, I can't tell you what it is yet, but at 5 o'clock, I'm prepared to make a major announcement coming up at 5 o'clock. But no, you're right. They absolutely made an announcement. They said they were going to tell us something at 11 o'clock, and they told us something. Right now, none of us know what their plan is. And at 11 o'clock, they told us they still don't know what their plan is, and they are still working together to figure out what the plan is. So, no, they absolutely made an announcement today. I'm with you. Coming up at the top of the hour, Joel Goldberg is going to join us on the show. I'm sure he has some major announcements as well. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Right now, new FanDuel customers can get $300 back in bonus bets every day for 10 days. Here's how it works. Place a tournament bet using the token. If it doesn't win, you'll get $300 back in bonus bets every single day for 10 straight days. That doesn't matter if it's the money line, the point spread. Maybe you want to play a futures on who you think is going to make the playoffs in the fall. You can do all of that with our friends over at FanDuel. You can even mix things up with the same game parlay for a shot at an even bigger payout. All you need to do, visit FanDuel.com/local to sign up today. That's FanDuel.com/local. Remember, place a tournament bet using the token. If it doesn't win, you'll get $300 back in bonus bets every single day. So it doesn't matter if it's for the brackets or baseball season. You want to be with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook app, and also the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 in President, Missouri. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire 7 days on the street. Tokens are received in increments of 1 per day. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
There's nothing like the sound of Royals baseball. When the boys in blue take the field, loyal fans tune in, turn it up, and stay connected. And where do Kansas City's most passionate sports fans gather? Right here on 96.5 The Fan. Sports fans are loyal fans. They support the teams they love and the businesses that support their team. If you're ready to grow your business and connect with a dedicated, engaged audience, call 816-522-0444 or email greg.bergen@odyssey.com. That's greg.bergen@odyssey.com.
It's tournament time. And this March, Fanatics Sportsbook has 10 times the rewards. Starting round 1, we're giving you 10 profit boosts every single tournament game day. That means first round, second round, round of 16, all the way down to the last 4 and the national championship. 10 chances every game day to level up your winnings. But that's not all. Your bet earns you up to 10% fan cash back, which you can use on anything in the Fanatics universe. We're talking team gear, tickets, collectibles, and a whole lot more. Plus, if you're new to Fanatics Sportsbook, you can get $200 instantly in fan cash when you bet $5. It's time to shoot your shot. The tournament hits different with Fanatics Sportsbook. Must be 21 plus. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-MY-RESET.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more. USPS, official shipping sponsor of the NHL.
On MLB opening day, baseball isn't just back, it's back on NBC and Peacock. And leading off, it's a coast-to-coast doubleheader. First, the Pirates take on the Mets in NYC. Then in primetime, The Diamondbacks visit the World Series champion Dodgers. Let's start the show. MLB is back on NBC and Peacock. Today, 1 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Eastern.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
Okay, two-car crash, 35 southbound. This is just past Mission. Left lane is blocked. We've still got the 70 westbound at Noland. That crash is still working. And then down near Belton, that crash still working. 49 northbound just before 155th. You're going to want to scoot to the left through here. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan.
All right, welcome back into the show. So, I'm going to give you two free bets, actually. I'm going to give you two free bets. Rob, bet number one. You have to take one of these two. You can either take Texas to win outright, or you can take Arkansas to win outright. Right now, both teams, they are the same underdog. Purdue is an 8.5-point dog. Arkansas is a 8.5-point dog today. What bet would you take? Money line it. We're not talking about against the spread here. We're talking about right now. I tell you that one of these two teams wins today. I tell you that Texas wins, or I tell you that Arkansas wins, and just based on the point spread, pull off one of the bigger upsets in this NCAA tournament. Which team do you think advances?
Arkansas. I think I can see a path for Arkansas to win more so than Texas. I just think Purdue's better, top to bottom, than Texas. I think Arkansas might have the singular best player on the court. And if you're going to give me the best player on the court and John Calipari in a Sweet 16 game, I'll roll the dice. I'll probably lose because that's just what Vegas is saying about both bets. But if you're asking me, I have to pick one on the money line because I get Acuff and how he's playing recently and how one player can be transcendent in this tournament. I will take Arkansas of those two options.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the other side. I think the answer is Texas. I think that Purdue is just much more vulnerable than I think Arizona is. I don't really see Arizona as being very vulnerable today. Now, you're right. Arkansas is certainly more talented than Texas. They have maybe the best individual player left in this NCAA tournament. They got other five-star kids. They got a Hall of Fame coach in John Calipari. Like, if this was a random game in November or December, no one would be surprised if at a neutral site, Arkansas beat Arizona. I mean, the way that Arizona has been playing lately, it's hard for me to pick against them. We are talking about a team, Rob, they've lost 2 games this entire season. You look at the wins that they have put together. They beat Florida, UCLA, UConn. They beat Alabama earlier this year, not to count the wins that they have in Big 12 play. I mean, we're talking about a team that it took maybe Allen Fieldhouse being as special of a environment that it's been this side of the last Missouri game, or a last-second game-winning shot by one of the 5 best players in college basketball this year in JT Toppin. Those are the 2 efforts that knocked out this Arizona team. I'd be surprised if Arizona didn't make it past the Sweet 16. I told you, I think they're the best team in college basketball. Arkansas is very, very good, but I think there is a noticeable difference, I think, between those top 3 teams, those Duke, Michigan, and Arizona, and everybody else. I think that will be very evident today when we see each other play. I don't know if there's a huge gap between Texas and Purdue, not with the way that they're currently playing right now.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think Arizona's the best team in college basketball. I know that Duke has that claim, the number 1 overall seed, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I think Arizona's the best team in basketball. But tell me the path that how Texas beats Purdue other than college basketball happens. Like, again, I think Arkansas is losing tonight. But I can at least understand the logic on picking Arkansas. It's just Darius Acuff go be special. If Darius Acuff has a JT Toppin type of night, I know there are different players. I've seen Arizona lose to one elite player.
Sure.
Texas is just the most average. Texas is Missouri this year. They're 21-14 and they're middle of the pack in the SEC.
They're Missouri with a good coach.
Correct.
They're Missouri with a good coach.
And they're Missouri with a easy, like sometimes playing that first 4 game gets you a little rhythm going. Like they're Missouri with a nicer path. So like, and I guess a worse seed line, but it worked out better. So like, I can't imagine the 12th best team in the SEC beating one of the top Big Ten schools. I can at least squint my eyes and understand, Darius Acuff goes off, Arkansas gets a win.
Yeah, I think where I'm a little bit different at in this is I just think Arizona is just such a superior defensive team that I think that makes a difference in this game. I mean, Arkansas, they let High Point score 88 points against them. High Point. Their best player is 6'1". There's no chance that High Point would score 88 points against Arizona. So I'm with you. I think that Arkansas can absolutely keep up with Arizona from an offensive perspective. I don't know if I trust Arkansas right now to get those stops down the stretch. And if your best chance of beating Arizona is your best player has to go crazy, I think that Arizona has enough bodies that they can send at him to just really make this uncomfortable for him today, or just make him not as efficient. Where I think Acuff has been super efficient over these last 3 to 4 weeks or so. I think Arizona can throw enough bodies at you that, maybe you get 21 points in this game, but they're going to make sure that you took 16 shots to be able to get it, where I don't know if there's a lot of teams that have the ability to be able to do it. That's the biggest reason why I'm picking Arizona to win this game. I'll ask you the same question here. Out of the 2 dogs today, so it is Iowa in their matchup. They're about a 1.5, 2-point dog, or Illinois, who is about the exact same. They're a 2.5-point dog. Which one of those underdogs do you think is more likely to win? Do you think it's Iowa or Illinois?
I'm going to take Illinois. I know they have the tougher matchup.
They got a road game, basically.
The definition of a road game.
They play Houston in Houston.
Although
in Houston.
Houston might be the second biggest fan base in Houston this weekend. I mean, Nebraska fans, if they did what they did in Oklahoma City, it's going to be a Nebraska home game. I just think Houston is really good, but Illinois has Keaton Wagler, who has played really well this season. They have a really good coach in Underwood. They have a lot of things that make me think, okay, they could pull an upset. Because where Houston is vulnerable is it when you start having a team make shots on them. Because they've been churning out wins recently, but when they've lost, it's because the opponent can make shots. Look at them in the Big 12 title game. Why'd they lose to Arizona? Arizona has more shot makers than they did. And eventually, your defense can only do so much against great shot makers. Keaton Wagler and Illinois have shot makers on their team. So I think I would lean Illinois in that scenario. I also think styles make fights, and if Nebraska can get up and down, I don't know that Iowa can keep up. They're not a team that's going to score in the 75, 80 range and win, and maybe they will tonight, but I just think the way Sturts is playing, I think Illinois is the safer of the 2 bets.
I would say that's my biggest question right now about Iowa, and we won't know that until the game starts. What version of Bennett Sturts are they going to get? Because if they get the same version of Bennett Sturts that have played for these last 2 games, I don't think you win. I think it's hard to continue to advance in this NCAA tournament if your best player is 9 for his last 29 from the field and 3 for his last 19 from beyond the arc. I think it's really, really difficult to keep beating good teams if that continues to be the case. And also, I'll give you this, they need a much better version of Cameron Manyow than they got in the upset against Florida. It's actually kind of crazy, honestly, the way that they beat Florida when you think about. I'm not even really sure if Iowa really played that well in the matchup against Florida. They just figured out a way to win. Of course. Every time. Just every time.
You know what's really funny is the other night, Bing was talking to me as we were leaving, and Bing's like, I got good news, man. I fixed the ESPN problem on the computer.
No, he didn't. He didn't fix the problem. I was just trying to pull up the box score, of course. It's still doing. Oh, my goodness. I'm sorry, y'all. I apologize. Someone on the text line said, C-Dot, how does Iowa have so many Missouri kids? These are all the kids that originally committed to Northwest Missouri State. They just kept following their head coach. Bennett Sturts was at Northwest Missouri State a couple of years ago. He then followed him to Drake, and now he's followed him to Iowa. Same thing for the Tavion Banks kid, also from the Kansas City area. He was at Northwest, went to Drake, and then went to Iowa. Cameron Manyow's a little bit different. He originally went to Wyoming. Then he transferred to Drake to play with the other Kansas City kids. Their coach got left. You know how that goes. They let you out of your scholarship, and then he followed him to Iowa. So, yeah, and that's another, small question I have about Ben McCollum, that this wouldn't stop me from hiring him if I was another program, but I'm going to be real curious to see what it looks like for him once Bennett Sturts is gone. Like, I'm not saying Bennett Sturts is a once-in-a-generational kind of guy, but, like, if you think about the ride that Bennett Sturts has taken Ben McCollum on and how his recruitment has changed one coach's life, I don't know if you can really find, at this level, one recruit that changed the entire perception around a player the way that Bennett Sturts has around Ben McCollum. You now got to continue to keep finding that individual to run your style. He runs a very, very unique style that certain kids are just not going to sign up to play for that. Like, Darius Acuff is not signing up to play the style of basketball that Iowa wants to run. So you got to continue to keep finding that guy. I think is one question that Iowa is going to have to answer, that Ben McCollum is going to answer. I think he's going to stay there. I just think his style's perfect for the kind of program that they are. But that remains to be seen what happens. So let's talk a little college basketball here. We got 4 games coming up tonight. Texas and Purdue, Iowa, Nebraska. Those are the 2 early games. Then at night, we have Arkansas, Arizona. We have Illinois and Houston. Those are the 4 games that we have on the docket for college basketball. Coming up at the top of the hour, we are going to be joined by Joel Goldberg, who is with the Royals Television Network. We'll get his thoughts ahead of baseball season. That's all coming up. Keep it right here. So Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison and Rob Brenton.
You losers is what you are.
On your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan. Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
Okay, 2-car crash. 35 southbound. This is just past Mission. Left lane is blocked. We've still got the 70 westbound at Noland. That crash is still working. And then down near Belton, that crash still working. 49 northbound just before 155th. You're going to want to scoot to the left through here. I'm down with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Anthony Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electric. Visit AnthonyPHC.com today.
For 75 years, Kansas City families have trusted Anthony for comfort, safety, and dependable service. Thank you for trusting us with your house keys. Anthony, in your home for 75 years.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
Hey, it's Rob Brenton from The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, and we're excited to announce the launch of Beyond the Pitch KC, a limited podcast series documenting the run-up to the World Cup with our friends over at 98.1 KMBZ.
And Rob, I'm Scott Parks from Dana and Parks on KMBZ. Beyond the Pitch KC will feature the biggest names who made the World Cup in Kansas City possible, plus the biggest storylines heading into this summer's tournament. This is not a podcast about soccer. Don't get us wrong. This is a podcast about Kansas City. This is a podcast for Kansas City. And this is a podcast that'll tell the story of how our town is hosting the world's biggest sporting event.
New episodes will be released every Wednesday starting on March 4th, as well as video clips that can be seen on 96.5 The Fan and KMBZ's social channels.
Subscribe and download to Beyond the Pitch KC, a limited podcast series with myself, Rob Brenton, on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Need to sell your house in Kansas City but not sure what the best option is? Selling a home, especially when dealing with foreclosure, divorce, job relocation, or an inherited property, can feel overwhelming. That's why I don't just make offers. I help homeowners understand all their options so they can make the right choice with no pressure and no obligation. I'm Rex, a local homebuyer and resident right here in Kansas City. Whether you're looking for a fast cash sale or just want to explore your choices, I'll walk you through the pros and cons of selling to me or listing with an agent. If selling directly is your best move, I'll offer you a fair cash price and a closing timeline that fits your needs in as little as 7 days or on your schedule. No repairs, no commissions, no hidden fees. Just a transparent, hassle-free process so you know exactly what to expect. Let's talk. Call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com for a free, no-pressure consultation. Rex Buys KC, helping homeowners make informed decisions with confidence.
Hey, it's Rob Britton from The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, and we're excited to announce the launch of Beyond the Pitch KC, a limited podcast series documenting the run-up to the World Cup with our friends over at 98.1 KMBZ.
And Rob, I'm Scott Parks from Dan and Parks on KMBZ. Beyond the Pitch KC will feature the biggest names who made the World Cup in Kansas City possible. Plus, the biggest storylines heading into this summer's tournament. This is not a podcast about soccer. Don't get us wrong. This is a podcast about Kansas City. This is a podcast for Kansas City. And this is a podcast that'll tell the story of how our town is hosting the world's biggest sporting event.
New episodes will be released every Wednesday starting on March 4th, as well as video clips that can be seen on 96.5 The Fan and KMBZ's social channels.
Subscribe and download to Beyond the Pitch KC, a limited podcast series with myself and Rob Bretton on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
What's up, KC? It's Matt Strom from the Kansas City Royals. Don't miss Vern's On Deck show 1 hour before first pitch right here on 96.5 The Fan.
KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Let's head to the phone lines right now to be joined by Joel Goldberg. You guys know him from the pre- and post-game with the Kansas City Royals. We are 1 day away from opening day. Joel, happy that baseball is back. Happy to have you on the show today.
Excited to be here. It's kind of weird. I just walked into Truist Park. They're going to have a workout here in a little bit. And last time I was here and the Royals were here, we were walking out on a Sunday a couple days after the Royals had clinched a playoff berth, and so they ended the season heading to the playoffs, and now they start the season trying to get back there 2 years later. So cool to be back here to open up the season, and this place should be rocking tomorrow night.
So every team, every season has its own energy, and I really started to feel the energy pick up after the World Baseball Classic. Is that the way you felt? What's the energy, what's the vibe like around this baseball team?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's a hard thing, obviously, to quantify, CDOT, and also, like, you know, how do we know if the World Baseball Classic hadn't happened this year, if the energy wouldn't have been there? And I think it would have been, maybe in a different way, right? I mean, I just, like, it's hard to replicate having so many guys come back that were in the final, and then when you add in Vinny and Cags in the semifinal, where all of the world and certainly all their teammates were watching them. So I wasn't there when they came back. I was there for a little bit when they were gone, and you know, reading about it and hearing about it, there was, you know, everybody was excited to bring them back. And you know, you don't just come back and get back to work. You get back and you talk about it, and you share that energy. And so, you know, I think the Royals come into this thing with a lot of guys that are probably still riding a high, specifically Salvi and Michael, but look at the way Bobby was able to represent. And so I think that some of that energy is for everybody listening to this broadcast right now, and to all Royals fans that really got a chance to watch some of the best players represent not just their country, but the Royals on the biggest of stages. I mean, this is a separate topic, but I thought the World Baseball Classic was about as huge of a success as you could ever have envisioned or dreamed of. And the fact that a lot of the Royals and the most significant Royals were involved in that only adds to the energy that you're talking about.
Joel, there's a lot of similarities to me between this team and heading into 2014. Now, obviously, we didn't know the ride that 2014 was going to take us on, but I think if you look at the lineup for the 2026 Royals and the lineup for the 2014 Royals, I think you would notice a lot of similarities.
Yeah, I see that too. I think that talent-wise, lineup-wise, yes. The differences, I think, would be this. That 14 team didn't have a Bobby Witt Jr. Most teams don't. And, you could start to make some similar arguments about the talent level right now of a Michael Garcia, and did that team have a Cole Reagans? Assuming we have and we do right now, have a healthy Cole Reagans, but let's assume that if he has his health back, that he's back to what he was a couple of years ago. So some similarities, some differences, and I would also say that this team, I was just asking Matt Quatrero about this, that they have some guys coming off of the World Baseball Classic, specifically Bobby and Michael, that are going to be different players than they were a year ago or 2 years ago, because here's Michael just coming off of the World Baseball Classic and the MVP that has to know right now that, and I'm not saying he didn't know it before, but whether you believe it or not, it's a different thing to experience it. Michael Garcia just shined on the biggest of stage and was the MVP playing with and against the greatest players in the world. That swagger has to come into the batting order and out onto third base for him. Bobby Witt Jr., okay, he knows what he can do. We know what he can do. But look at 3 years ago when he basically sat and watched as an understudy in the World Baseball Classic, and now he was leading off and making defensive plays that had the rest of the country dropping their jaws the way we do every night that we see Bobby doing that. It wasn't a surprise to us, but it was still jaw-dropping. And so what I see is that the younger guys on this team, and add in Jack Caglione, and for sure add in Vinny Pasquantino, who now is a little bit more of a veteran on this team, but he's still that younger core of guys. He was the captain of Team Italy, and a team that went deep into the World Baseball Classic. And so you have a lot of young guys, and those three, take Salvi out of that because we know Salvi's been the captain and the established guy on this team, but the rest of those guys have now played on the highest of stage, all in leadership roles that bring that back to this clubhouse. I mean, suddenly you have a very mature and experienced Royals team starting this journey.
Right now, we're talking to Joel Goldberg with the pre- and post-game with the Kansas City Royals, getting his thoughts as we are getting ready for opening day. I won't give you my answer yet, but we had this as a topic probably a month ago. If you could look into the future and see the end of the season numbers for any position player, what player would you choose? If I could show you that exact same thing with one pitcher, who would you choose as well? So I will show you exactly what they did at the end of the season, their end of the season numbers. Give me a position player you would pick. Give me a pitcher you would pick.
Ooh. Well, I could be boring and, give you Bobby because there's such a good track record there, but what if we dream of Jack Caglione putting up 25 or 30 homers? What if that happened? That's kind of where my mind goes, because I think it's fairly easy, provided health, to predict or have a decent idea of what Bobby's going to do and Michael's going to do. And let's be honest here, maybe I'm wrong, aren't the two most intriguing pieces to this team in terms of I wonder what they're going to do, Carter Jensen and Jack Caglione? So my mind goes to Jack Caglione, 25, 30 home runs. And on the pitching side, to me, I guess it's just more fun to do this with a younger guy. What about Chris Bubich coming back healthy and putting up some numbers that mirror the first half last year, but doing it all game long? Full season, a full all-star caliber season.
So the answer that I gave was Jack Caglione and Cole Reagans. For Jack Caglione, if you showed me the end of the season for Jack Caglione, he had 25 home runs, then I'm wagering a lot that the Royals have won their division, because that solves what I think their biggest issue was from last season. I know what I'm going to get from Bobby. I know what I'm going to get from Mikel. I know what I'm going to get from Vinny Pasquantino. I don't necessarily know what I'm going to get with one of those corner outfield spots.
Agreed.
Same thing with Cole Reagans. If you tell me that Cole Reagans makes 29 starts this year, that's also a Royals team that I believe wins their division.
Yeah, I think we're talking along the same lines, and I guess I could have I could have gone Reagans instead of Bubic, and I think that's probably, if I'm reading you right, that's probably the point of the exercise, right? Like you have a pretty good idea of what Michael Wacha is, what Seth Lugo is, what Salvi is. I mean, there's certainly, as guys get a little bit older, like a Lugo, like a Salvi, where you say, okay, where at some point there's a little bit of a drop off, but and this is a different discussion, but I think also to where you're going with it, the Salvi piece is interesting because I don't know that his numbers go down. We saw it last year with the home runs, provided that you have someone that could share those responsibilities behind the plate. That's what they had until they traded Freddie Fermin, which really kept him fresh. And hopefully that's what they have in Carter Jensen. But to the point of your exercise, I think that you Cole Reagans, Chris Bubic, Jack Caglione, and Carter Jensen, I think, would be the four most intriguing players to do that with.
Right now, we're talking to Joel Goldberg here, just getting his thoughts as we are getting ready for Royals baseball. Tell us a little bit more about Jack Caglione. What's your feeling about him heading into the season? What's the hope around him heading into the season? There was so much buzz this time a year ago. We got a chance to see him. He had a great World Baseball Classic. How are you feeling about him heading into the season?
I'd love to say I'm standing right by him right now, but I think they got a players meeting going on, but I know I'm standing right next to his batting gloves because he's got those bright yellow gloves that he wears, those big hands. And so you say that, I'm looking down, I'm like, well, he's going to be grabbing these things and probably putting on a batting practice show soon. I think the fact that he did it on the World Baseball Classic stage, I think is really, really intriguing because let's be honest, if he had done that in spring training, we would qualify it by saying, yeah, but it's just spring training. But this was the World Baseball Classic on the big stage. And, now look, guys might not be quite as ready at this point as they are usually, but didn't look to me like spring training baseball that I was watching. It looked like those guys were in October mode. To see that he did that does not guarantee that he's going to be what he and the Royals and we all hope he's going to be. But it's certainly a glimpse into what it could look like, and it has to be great for his confidence to be able to have done that on the big stage, to realize that he fit in, not just with Team Italy, which isn't, your typical loaded team, and you got a lot of Americans with Italian heritage on there, but that he was doing it against some other teams, too, that have some of the best players in the world. And so, and I also think it's important to remember, and I didn't hear a lot of people saying he's a bust. I didn't really hear anybody saying that. And if they did, they're crazy. It's too quick to be able to say that. But last year was obviously a really, really tough year for him, and a reminder that this game is not as easy as some of the outliers, like the Bobby Witt Juniors, make it look. That more people end up having the failure that Jack Caglione did than what, say, Bobby Witt Jr. didn't really go through to that point. Most guys are going to get sent back to the minors at some point. And the challenge, I think, with Jack Caglione is that he's so much better than anyone at the AAA level that sending him back down there to get confidence does what? It's like it's too easy for him. So maybe you just have to learn the hard way here. And I don't know, I can't speak to this, but I think there's probably something to be said about going back home and refreshing and taking what you learned and catching your breath and realizing that, you know what, there's a lot of baseball left, a whole long career left, and that what he went through last year. I mean, I don't know, but like, do you think that at any level ever, like from Little League, T-ball, I don't even know if he ever played T-ball. You think he ever struggled in his life like he did last year? So, you can, that could wreck you. But more times than not, a guy of his caliber, you learn from it and you actually end up being better than it. I say this all the time. If a young player can learn how to manage failure the way a Salvador Perez does, the way the best guys in this game do that know how to turn the page, you're going to be fine. And so I think that Royals fans should be dreaming big when it comes to Jack Caglione. The question, I think, isn't if, it's just a matter of when.
This isn't even as much of a question, but I'm happy to get your thoughts on it, is I'm just excited that going into the season, there is real hope, buzz, and expectations for the Royals. Sometimes my frustration with the Royals is our expectations are so abstract. Well, I want to see development with the young guys. Well, what does that mean? Does that mean winning? Does that mean, what does that mean? I'm happy that everybody seems to be on the same page about this team. This is a baseball team that should expect to make the baseball playoffs. There haven't been too many Royals teams like that in my lifetime where you could say that about. So I'm happy that we are all on the same page going into it with the same expectation about what the 2026 Royals can be.
I could not agree with you anymore, C-Dot. And you know what I really liked after last year is, I heard from a lot of fans that said, hey, it was a pretty good year. And I didn't like that part as much because it's like, no, you know what? They were in the playoffs the year before. Let's change that thinking of, well, at least being competitive is good enough. And I know that's not what everybody was saying, but it was, I think we've been programmed for so long to be like, well, at least we were in it, that feels better than what it used to be like. But what I really liked, and I think that really has transferred over into expectations from fans coming into this year, is that the Royals were really disappointed in last year. The Royals really believed that they should have been in the playoffs last year, and they fell short. And so I like the fact that they viewed last year as a bit of a disappointment. And I like the fact that as the page turned and as football season ended, and I think that's part of it too, right? I mean, I think fans are legitimately excited about this team because they're good, because they should be. I have no idea why there are fighter jets flying over Truist Park right now. I feel like a back in surprise. I'm sure you hear that. I can't even see them. They're up in the clouds. But anyway, I like the fact that as the hangover quickly wore off from the disappointment of the Chiefs, because, look, we've all been spoiled by expecting them in the playoffs every year, and that's a great problem to have. But I like the fact that fans immediately – it's just crazy. I have no idea where all these fighter jets are coming from, but I like the fact that that fans really, really turn the page immediately from football. That I feel like, and you probably heard a lot of this too, that as soon as the Chiefs were eliminated, it was like, when is spring training starting? There was such genuine excitement because oftentimes in Kansas City, we don't even start thinking about that with the way Super Bowls have gone until a few days before spring training. So this has been building up really since December, I think. And then you add in the fact that it's legitimate, they're really good. I like the fact that fans are expecting a lot. They should be expecting a lot, and I think that is a sign of where things have come with this team. And just a greater point here is that we're talking about a core of Bobby Witt Jr., Michael Garcia, Vinny Pasquantino, hopefully Jack Caglione, Carter Jensen. This is not a one-shot deal. This should be sustainable.
Well, Joel, maybe Atlanta loves flyovers the way that Kansas City does, and they're just preparing for tomorrow's opening day. They're doing a little bit of a test run.
Maybe they're practicing. Now I could see that fighter jet. That thing was just hovering right over the first baseline going flying by. Don't they know that I'm doing radio with CDOT right now? Come on.
They absolutely need to know that. That is Joel Goldberg joining us on the show. Joel, we look forward to watching you on television tomorrow. There's a lot of excitement here in Kansas City about this baseball team, man. Thanks a lot for popping on today.
Well, I know everybody will be able to hear it on your guys' 96.5 and brand new home for us on Royals TV. So super fired up. I know I think Haas is working his way over to the stadium right now. Ryan and I came over a little while ago. Jake's over here, Eric Guthrie. So we're looking forward to seeing everybody tomorrow night.
Absolutely. That is Joel Goldberg joining us on the show today. He is in Atlanta right now getting ready for opening day tomorrow. I would really encourage you. I mean, Royals TV, it's all right. Watching it on Spectrum, that's fine. What you should really do is listen to the baseball games on 96.5 The Fan, especially the ones that happen during the day. The night games, I'm not as concerned with those. I know you're busy, Soccer practice, volleyball practice, you got to spend time with your wife. But when they play during the day, oh my goodness. You absolutely should listen to those games, right, Rob? I know you and I echo that sentiment. Please listen to the games during the day on 96.5 The Fan. Please.
And tomorrow, Vern will be on the air at 5. Lock in.
Oh, my goodness.
Lock in when Vern's on the air at 5 tomorrow. Not just from 5 to 5:05. No. All the way through pregame up until 6 o'clock. I need you guys to Lock in.
That's what I mean. I can't. You know what? You said everything I needed to say about it. I don't need to say anything else. Some of the people on the text line are answering the question. If I could show you the end of the season stats for one position player and one pitcher, who would you take? We got a text here. I would pick Jack Caglione and Seth Lugo. Lugo was not great towards the end of the year. I think Reagan stays healthy all year. We are in the playoffs. There are probably dozens of questions that you can have about this Royals baseball season. I think the division comes down to two questions. Are the Royals going to get a healthy version of Cole Reagans? How much better is Jack Caglione this season than he was last year? If the Royals have positive answers to those two, I find it very difficult to believe that they will not, at a minimum, clinch a wild card spot and are not in a great position to win their division. They got 13 starts from Cole Reagans last year. 13. I think when healthy, Cole Reagans is their best starter. So if the Royals get the version of Cole Reagans that pitched in 2024, and that guy is at the top of their rotation, that's a team that wins their division in my mind. He pitched 186 innings, made 32 starts back in 2014, was an all-star in 2014, finished fourth in Cy Young voting, was an all-star, and had I'm trying to find his ERA here, had a 3.14 ERA in 2024. If that's the version of Cole Reagans that they have, that team is making the playoffs. If they get a Jack Caglione that, I don't want to set a number to him, if you feel like Jack Caglione is part of the solution and not part of the problem, I think that's a Royals team that ends up making the postseason as well. I understand that he's young. I'm not blaming him for the season. I'm not telling you not to be optimistic about it. But Jack Caglione joined the team and then became part of the problem. He struggled almost instantly and reached the point where it was, hey, we can't continue to give this guy at-bats every single day. Let's send him back down. Let's try to get his confidence back up. We still got options. He's still got time. And that happens sometimes with some young players. Like that's just part of the game. But if the conversation is that Jack Caglione is a guy that you feel comfortable hitting sixth every day in the lineup, and Cole Reagans is somebody that you can depend on every fourth and fifth day to make a start, I find it hard to believe that this team's not going to end up being one of the top 6 or 7 teams in the American League. I think they have accumulated too much talent to not be in that conversation at the end of the year.
So I agree with you on both players, but Joel's first answer was Bobby Witt Jr., which when that hit my ear, I was like, well, that's an odd pick. You kind of know what Bobby's going to be. Bobby's a great player. But then I was looking at Bobby Witt Jr.'s stats back here, and I was like, I don't think it's a bad answer by Joel. If they get MVP level Bobby Witt, and I know he did not win the award, but he was MVP level good in 2024. If they get that version of Bobby again, I don't think it really matters what they get out of Cags. I don't think it really matters what they get out of the outfield, because it wasn't like in 2024 when doing the show, me and you and Cody Gold, everyone's talking about, man, that 2024 Royals outfield, they're just gangbusters, man. They can't be stopped. No, the offense was basically Vinny, Bobby, and Salvi, and Bobby was only worse than Aaron Judge in all of baseball that year, basically in every statistical category. So I think Joel's initial answer, which is Bobby, isn't the worst one ever, because if you take Bobby Witt as the answer, you're thinking to yourself, if he's MVP good again, the Royals don't really need Jack Caglione to be special. They just need him to be league average, and I think they could be a playoff team.
Yeah, and I think that makes a lot of sense. I guess maybe I would push back a little bit, and I don't even think you disagree that heavily with it, is it's hard to really quantify how bad they were offensively last year in the outfield spots. Like, I'm looking at their splits last year. Rob, they got from their center fielder position last year, from their center fielder, they got 6 home runs and 47 RBIs last year with the sub 300 on base percentage. If you are looking at their right fielder, and I understand that we are not counting batting average anymore, and people are trying to tell me batting average just doesn't matter anymore. I mean, Rob, they got 197 last year as a batting average from their right field spot last year. They just had too many offensive places on the field last year that they did not get positive contributions last season. So I'm with you on Jack Caglione. I certainly understand the point you are making on Jack Caglione, but just you can't continue to just have, I would say, 3 negatives in your lineup. And for the most part, the Royals in 2025 had a negative at left field, center field, and right field for a large majority of the year. They're probably still going to have some question marks in the outfield. Man, it would feel good to feel like you either got a left fielder for the future or a right fielder of the future in one of the options that you have.
I also would say, and I don't want this to come off like a Royals apologist, the Royals outfield was real bad last year, and I'm not denying that. They also got nothing out of second base last year. And the first month of the season, they were getting nothing out of first base. And they had issues at DH. Like, I'm not trying to diminish the outfield problems, because you're right. We could do a whole show tomorrow on bad outfield stats. There's abundance of them from last year.
Getting 197. I know that we don't care about batting. Getting 197 for the entire season from your right field is inexcusable.
With no power. It wasn't like they got 197, but Adam Dunn pounded 30 homers. It was 197 and slap hitting and no pop. It was real bad. But I think the Royals had more than just outfield offensive holes last year. I think they've kind of patchworked some of those. There's a belief they've patchworked them where if you can get league average outfield, you might be in a better spot this year than you were at any point last year.
Coming up on the other side, we'll continue to talk a little bit of Royals baseball and get you ready for the start of the season. We are less than 24 hours away from the start of the Royals baseball season. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5, The Fan.
Look at the weather outside. Baseball is in the air. Spring is in the air, and that means tailgate season. Well, with the home opener right around the corner, you are right around the corner from Gates Barbecue. They got 5 locations around town. That one over there on 40 Highway, I think, is actually the best location in the city. But you can always stop by any one of the area 5 locations. Stop by at lunch, get yourself the nooner, get yourself a beef on bun. You can stop in for dinner. You can also get yourself the mixed plate. I like to just get myself a slab of ribs and a fries to go. Heavy on the sauce, please. I know we got Easter coming up, so we got holiday season right around the corner. Maybe you're planning on having a family gathering for Easter. You can get yourself a small party tray, get yourself a large party tray, get yourself a presidential platter. The next time you're at the grocery store, be sure you pick up on some of the sauces and seasoning for your tailgate, for your home cooking, and around the house. Whatever your food needs are, either stop by the website, GatesBBQ.com, or any one of the 5 area Gates locations. The Carrington Harrison from The Drive here telling you the next time you're in the mood for barbecue, go get some of the best barbecue in the world with our friends over at Gates.
30 years ago, Wu-Tang Clan changed hip-hop forever. Last year, they sold out arenas worldwide, and now the final chamber comes back home. Wu-Tang Clan, an encore. If you saw it last year, you know what this means. If you didn't, this is the moment. Morton Amphitheater, September 2nd, with special guests, Bone Thugs and Harmony. Get tickets this Friday at 10 a.m. at thewutangclan.com. Wu-Tang Forever, Killer Bees, swarming on new locations, live in Kansas City.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
Hey, it's Gold, and my friends over at Shawnee Mission Ford are ready to make this the best truck month ever. You know how much I loved driving the F-150. You can drive one now as well. In fact, 25 F-150s now have 0% for 60 months, 90 days till your first payment, and large discounts and the no-charge lifetime warranty. Or you could get a new Maverick for $3,000 off MSRP. Come celebrate Truck Month at Shawnee Mission Ford. They're on a mission to do more in 26.
I stopped smoking with Mark Patrick's hypnosis when nothing else worked. 1 year later, my wife Michelle and I attended the Mark Patrick Weight Loss Hypnosis Seminar. In 2 months, lost 43 pounds, and she lost 18 pounds.
And we feel great. Join Mark Patrick Hypnosis and lose the weight or stop smoking. Only $59.99 guaranteed or your money back. Hypnosis, Wednesday, April 1st at the Wingate by Wyndham, Kansas City. Formerly Sure Stay Plus by Best Western in Kansas City. Lose Weight Hypnosis, 5:30 p.m. Stop Smoking Hypnosis, 8 p.m. Sign up at markpatrickseminars.com.
Feeling the heat? Don't sweat it. Turn to Comfort Systems Heating and Cooling. With temperatures rising, now's the time to make sure your AC is ready to keep you cool. Whether it's your home or your business, Comfort Systems services both residential and commercial systems across the Kansas City area. Call today for a fast tune-up, repair, or a system upgrade so you can stay cool all summer long. Family owned and operated since 1990. Comforting people is what we do. Comfort Systems is right for you. MyComfortSystems.com.
Carpal tunnel syndrome, heart failure that doesn't improve with common medicines. These are some signs and symptoms associated with ATTR-CM, or the cardiomyopathy of ATTR amyloidosis, a serious heart condition with symptoms that get worse over time. Amvuttra, vutrisiran, is a prescription medicine given by a healthcare provider that treats ATTR-CM in adults to reduce heart-related death, hospital stays, and urgent visits. In a clinical study, Amvuttra was proven to help people live longer and have fewer heart-related hospital stays and urgent visits over 3 years compared to placebo. Amvuttra lowers the amount of vitamin A in your blood, which can affect vision. Other side effects include pain in the arms or legs, pain in the joints, and shortness of breath. These are not all the possible side effects of Amvuttra. For prescribing information, call 1-833-256-2748 or learn more at amvuttra.com. Ask your doctor about Amvuttra for ATTR-CM.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
Downtown, big problem, 35 southbound as you approach 70. Scoot to the right through here. There's a stall blocking the left lane. Further down 35, southbound past 95th. That's a stall in the right lane. 35 northbound before 435. Scoot to the left through here. Both directions in this area. Very heavy. Continue down 35 southbound past 119th. Right lane blocked there. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, Kansas City. It's Vinny Pasquantino. Welcome into The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Royals baseball, 96.5 The Fan.
Someone texted in, CDOT, what more could you ask for from Kyle Isbell? He hit around 250. He was a good bunter and above average defender. Center field was not the problem. I don't think that Kyle Isbell is a bad player, but I do think that last year, for example, Kyle Isbell had 400 plate appearances. He had 4 home runs. He had 30 RBIs last year. So he wasn't really a guy that you were counting on for run production. I think either last year, the Royals had a bunch of fifth outfielders that they were asking to do something that I just don't think they can, which is being consistent everyday offensive producer for them, or just guys that they should have moved on from very, very earlier in the season. So, like, if we're looking at it in a vacuum, no, I don't think the reason they missed the playoffs last year was because of Kyle Isbell. But if you're going to have a guy that's going to get 400 plate appearances that just doesn't really give you a much offensively, the way that Kyle Isbell doesn't, like, you are now asking for that production to just come from other players last year. And when you get off to as slow of a start as the Royals did, and, I mean, if you're not going to be good at left field or right field offensively, I mean, I would say they had holes really in the entire outfield when it come offensively. It wasn't really directed towards one person in Kyle Isbell.
I mean, I actually agree with you. Kyle Isbell is not the problem. I mean, you would like to be more productive.
He also wasn't part of the solution either.
Correct.
I mean, if you're going to get 400 plate appearances, hit 4 home runs, you were not part of the solution for the Royals offensively either.
But if there were real players in the corner, I don't think you would have noticed him as a problem. Like, if he was the 9 hitter and Kaggs does what he's supposed to do and Isaac Collins repeats what he did last year, you at no point in July, you're like, man, Kyle Isbell's not doing enough. good glove, good enough with the bat, perfectly fine 9-hitter. The problem was the rest of the outfield stunk so bad that his just averageness really stood out as part of the problem.
I want to play this for you in case you missed it. Tim Kirchin was on the morning show earlier today, and he was asked about Royals' optimism nationally. Here's what he said.
I'm not sure they made a move of any kind that was so big that you just say, all right, this is the difference maker. I think this has to come from within. I mean, Michael Franco has been such a good player for them, but I think he's gone to another level, making the All-Star team last year and then playing in the WBC. So that's where I think the improvement comes for the Royals, are guys who have been there and are starting like their first full year with the team.
I mean, I think it is very clear the direction that the Royals went into the offseason with. Now, I fully believe that the Royals tried to make a move for an outfield bat. I also think it's been reported at this point. I don't think I'm sharing any trade secrets. I think they could have made the trade for Duran on the Red Sox. They were unwilling to give up Cole Reagans, and that is why they didn't end up making that trade. If that is who you wanted the Royals to make, I can tell you that the Royals did everything they could to try to make that trade. Boston was very steadfast on, we want Cole Reagans. The Royals did not want to give up Cole Reagans, so just no deal ended up happening. I think once the Royals didn't maybe get their number one, this is who we want when it comes to an outfield bat, I think the Royals then tried to elevate the floor for their outfield and just get just more consummate hitters and just guys who you think can get on base and guys you think that could put the ball in play. I think that also ended up being the play. And I think the Royals are looking at Carter Jensen, and I think they are looking at Jack Caglione as being improvements for them offensively this year. I don't know what that means for the Royals. We have to see how the season plays itself out. But I absolutely believe that this team is counting on Jack Caglione giving you something offensively. This team is absolutely counting on Carter Jensen to give you something offensively. They can make it if only one of them works out. If two works out, great. This team probably ends up winning the division. If neither one of those guys end up working out offensively, they're going to be behind the 8 ball a little bit, and they're likely going to have to make a move here in 4 months to try to help bolster the rest of the offense. But it is very clear to me that the Royals' plan for the season is going into it with the expectation of these two individuals are going to help improve our offense. I don't know how you could see their offseason moves and come to any other conclusion.
I also think now this might be the first Royals-Chiefs comparison we've had this season, and it feels good to fire this off. Aren't they doing exactly what the Chiefs did leading into last year? The Chiefs, after the Eagles Super Bowl, said, we are good. We promise. We know we're good. We just had one bad game. They brought back Hollywood Brown. They brought back Juju Smith-Schuster. They re-signed Nick Bolton. They re-signed Trey. We don't have to go through every move. They basically kept their guys. They said, our core is good. We know we're good. Trust us. And the city said, you come off a Super Bowl loss. I don't care you got embarrassed. We trust you. The Royals, to an extent, are doing the same thing this offseason. They tried to get Duran. You're right. It's not some industry secret that they were not willing to give up Cole Reagans to get that deal done. So, no, they're not going to make that deal. They got a little better in the outfield. Isaac Collins is an improvement. I don't think he's a world beater, but he's an improvement. And they are saying Cags is going to be a thing. Carter Jensen is going to be a thing. We know what Pasquantino is. There might be more there. We know Bobby, what he is. There might be more there because we think he regressed last year. Michael Garcia can take another step forward. They are betting on their youth, their belief in their guys, the same way the Chiefs 1 calendar year ago were operating with their offseason. Now, it did not work for the Chiefs. 2025 was an abject disaster, but it's the exact same conceptual game plan, right? The Chiefs and Royals from last year.
I'll take it one step further. Aren't the Royals, trying to use it grammatically correct, aren't the Royals doing exactly what Kansas fans tell me they want their team to do and how they want to build their roster? Kansas fans tell me we don't want the transfer portal. We want homegrown guys that understand what it means to be Jayhawks. That's what we like. We want the Frank Masons. We want the Devontae Grahams, the Sharon Collins, guys that we know come up in the system, know what it means to win. Those are the guys that we want to win with. Isn't that what the Royals are doing? I mean, The Royals drafted Bobby Witt Jr. The Royals drafted Vinny Pasquantino. They drafted Maikel Garcia. They drafted Carter Jensen. They drafted Jack Caglione. They drafted Noah Cameron. Like, sure, there's some free agents that you were going to have. You're not going to have a completely, entirely homegrown kind of team. But if you were trying to build something lasting that the Royals are trying to and have now had winning seasons in back-to-back years, don't you have to do it the way that the Royals are doing it? With the financial situation, the way that baseball is, you kind of got to do it this way. You got to draft a lot of good players all at one time, and you got to hope that they all end up being good at the exact same time. And it would appear that the Royals are possibly heading towards that being the case. They might have the American League MVP, a guy that if you were following every kind of publication, they are all talking about him being a sleeper potential kind of MVP candidate. Vinny Pasquantino looks like a guy that could hit 30 home runs this year. Maikel Garcia was an all-star last year, won a Gold Glove last season. You have one of the top prospects in Major League Baseball. Carter Jensen, homegrown guy, looks like he's one of the top catching prospects. Like, isn't this the kind of team that people say they want to support and they want to root for? Homegrown guys that understand the culture, that are all figuring things out together. I would say that's where the Royals are right now.
And for your KU analogy, which I love a good KU analogy, isn't this like the, hey, we just saw them struggle, but we know there's talent there year? Like Carter Jensen, for the example. Hey, we think he can be DeJuan Harris. He's not great right now, but if you keep in the system, keep trusting in Bill, keep growing up with Carter, Christian Brown, and Ochai Abaji, we think you can be a thing. Like I think the analogy works on a lot of levels. Now, is it going to work on the field for the Royals? We'll see, but I think this is the best way for a team like the Royals to be talented and be competing for World Series. You can't be the Dodgers and just go buy up all the pieces on the board. You kind of have to develop from within, so I don't think it's the worst game plan.
Coming up on the other side, we got 4 college basketball games tonight. We'll get you ready for an exciting night in the Sweet 16. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for K-State athletics. 96.5, The Fan.
Ever notice how your floors still look dirty even after you mop?
Yeah, what's up with that?
Swiffer Power Mop gives you a deeper clean you can actually see.
I'm listening.
Unlike string mops, Swiffer Power Mop absorbs more dirt and locks it away, even in those hard-to-reach spots.
Like behind the toilet?
Exactly. The new micro scrubbers deliver thousands of tiny deep cleaning actions, so your floors look, smell, and feel clean.
Bye-bye, dirty floors. Hello, Swiffer Power Mop.
Try the Swiffer Power Mop. Love it or your money back.
During Lowe's Pro Savings Days, the job works in your favor. My Lowe's Pro Rewards members buy more and save more on materials they rely on every day. Get up to 25% off select molding when you spend $1,000 or more, and up to 25% off Pergo Evercraft laminate flooring. Put Pro Savings Days to work for you. Members get more at Lowe's. Valid through 3/27. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Loyalty program subject to terms and conditions. Visit the Pro Desk or Lowe's.com/terms for more details. Subject to change.
Sex, intimacy, love. These 3 things are critical to a good relationship, and that's the problem with erectile dysfunction. It often destroys sexual enjoyment and intimacy. It stresses the love between partners, often to the breaking point. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're suffering with ED, you likely know exactly what I'm talking about. But I also want you to know that ED doesn't have to impact your relationship anymore. At Heartland Men's Health, we're ED experts with our focus on men's sexual health. We've treated tens of thousands of men and have treatments that are effective in well over 90% of cases. I promise you, if you're like most guys, you can get your sex life back, perhaps even performing like you haven't in years. So if ED is affecting you, it's time to get back to better sex, better intimacy, and deeper love. Call us. Just $99 gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Hey guys, it's Rob Brennan from The Drive on 96.5 The Fan, and we're excited to announce the launch of Beyond the Pitch KC, a limited podcast series documenting the run-up to the upcoming World Cup with our friends over at 98.1 KMBZ.
And I'm Scott Parks from Dana and Parks on KMBZ. Beyond the Pitch KC features the biggest names who helped make the World Cup in Kansas City possible. And there was a lot of work plus the major storylines heading into this summer's tournament.
This is so much more. This isn't just a podcast about soccer.
No, you're right, Rob. It's a podcast about Kansas City, for Kansas City, telling the story of how our town is hosting the world's biggest sporting event.
New episodes drop every Wednesday starting on March 4th, along with video clips that can be seen on 96.5 The Fan and KMBZ social channels.
So make sure you subscribe. Download Beyond the Pitch KC with Rob Brennan and myself, Scott Parks, on the Odyssey app or wherever you get your podcasts.
Just hearing the word IRS can make people break out in a cold sweat. No one wants to deal with the IRS, and now you don't have to. The good news is Legal Tax Defense has been successfully negotiating with the IRS for more than 15 years. It doesn't matter how much you owe, whether it's $5,000 or $5 million. You deserve the best in the business on your side, and that is Legal Tax Defense. Even if you're working with someone else and just want a second opinion, there is no cost or obligation to call. They can prevent levies, liens, wage garnishments, even file back tax returns. And the best news about Legal Tax Defense is they won't take your case unless they know they will reduce or eliminate your tax debt. Call Legal Tax Defense right now for a free no-risk consultation. 800-323-8922. 800-323-8922. You have nothing to lose but everything to gain. 800-323-8922.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
Downtown, big problem, 35 southbound as you approach 70. Scoot to the right through here. There's a stall blocking the left lane. Further down 35 southbound past 95th. That's a stall in the right lane. 35 northbound before 435. Scoot to the left through here. Both directions in this area. Very heavy. Continue down 35 southbound past 119th. Right lane blocked there. I'm bound with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Follow this station on Instagram at TheFan965 for giveaways and behind-the-scenes content.
I want to throw this question out there, 913-586-7965. We'll reset things coming up at the top of the hour. We are getting ready for baseball, and Jackson County had a major announcement today to then not make an announcement. I'll explain more coming up in a bit. But before we do that, Rob, do you think that people will be happy if this is how the NCAA tournament is moving forward? Today, you have one double-digit seed. It's Texas. I would say you have two non-traditional basketball powers, brands in Nebraska basketball, who has quite literally never been at this stage of the NCAA tournament before. Iowa, who hasn't been to the second weekend of the NCAA tournament since 1999. So you have a team who has never been here and another team who hasn't been here in over 25 years. And then at night, I would say you have four marquee basketball brands right now: Arkansas, Arizona, Illinois, and Houston. Where have you been following the sport this year? I mean, those are four of the top 15 teams in college basketball this season for the most part. They have all been very good. Do you think that people are happy or will be happy if this is what the tournament is now and it's not going to be how we remember it as children?
Yes, especially now that we've reached this point of the season. I think maybe if you asked me a week ago, hey, do people like this level of chalk? I would say no. I think people like High Point over Wisconsin. I think people like VCU over North Carolina. I think they like those things. But I don't think they actually like those things to make a run. Because think about a couple of years ago. I'll use the St. Peter's year. St. Peter's made it all the way to the Elite Eight. Were people excited to watch St. Peter's in the Elite Eight? It kind of felt like you knew they were going to lose. The Cinderella story was coming to an end. They've been fun for 2.5 weeks, but it's over now. So I think people are sad and going to be sad that we've lost that, like, nostalgia of, can Gonzaga beat Florida? like as a plucky underdog in round one. But I think they will like it better now that in this round and beyond, I think we are getting better basketball. Like, we're getting Michigan State and UConn in this round. We're not getting, Michigan State and some rum-dum or some nothing. You're getting top-level basketball. So I think for the Sweet 16 and beyond, fans are okay with it being chalky because the quality matchups are better.
Yeah, I just think that the future of the tournament, at least with the way that it currently is. Now, it could change again. Maybe we have a salary cap. Maybe we restrict some of the player movement that we have. But if this is the way that college basketball is going to be, the tournament no longer can capture your imagination. Like, part of your imagination as a sports fan is the concept of Hoosiers. It is a small town school that is able to enter this tournament and win the entire tournament. The imagination of being a sports fan is that Rocky can happen. Here is this little known fighter from Philadelphia who one day can turn out to be the heavyweight champion of the world. We love those kind of stories. That is what the NCAA tournament used to provide us, and there was no other sporting event that we watch that offers that. Maybe you could argue the Masters, but for the most part, the people that win the Masters are, hey, these are the top 20 golfers in the world. One of them just going to have a really good weekend, and they're going to end up. It's not like the random guy who was the 471st ranked golfer just wins the Masters. Not really how it goes. So I am going to be curious to see as this tournament continues to progress. And I would say some of the imagination of the tournament has been lost. And I would say, Rob, now this tournament has kind of turned into the tournament for hardcore basketball fans like me and you. I don't need the St. Peter's storyline to make the tournament fun for me. I don't need Utah State to go on this run. The Sister Jean storyline is cool, but I don't need the Sister Jean storyline. I mean, if you look at these next 2 days, this is just hardcore basketball. Look at tomorrow. It's Michigan State, UConn, Duke, St. John's, great brands, great coaches, players that we've been watching all season. That's what the tournament, I think, has turned into. Now, the ratings reflect it, but right now, we're just in a period where sports ratings are just they've manipulated the rules in a way. Everything when it comes to sports are just rating at such a very interesting pace. I will be interested to see as the tournament progresses and we start to get more and more data points for Cinderella. Hey, it's been 7 years since a mid-major has made it to the Sweet 16. I will be interested to see what kind of effect that has on the public and our feeling for the tournament, as it's gotten kind of chalky, and at least in the first 4 days, it has gotten somewhat predictable.
I get your point about college basketball gave us a chance to cheer for Rocky, the underdog, Hoosiers, the whole deal. I think that only happens in the first weekend. And I hate the term like, oh, it's for the casual versus the ball knowers. But I think this round has always been about hardcore basketball. You know why? It's at night on a Thursday and Friday. Like, the people that watch the NCAA tournament at their work or in their office pools last Thursday, because it's on at 2:30, are probably not locked in tonight the way they were last week. So last week's for the fun, the frivolity, the buzzer beaters, the, oh man, I can't believe I lost Wisconsin to High Point. This round has always been about the basketball to me. So I think as long as you can still sell, there's upsets in round one, this number 10 can do it, this number 11 can do it, watch out. I think people will be interested. And I think this round, which has always been more for the hardcore basketball fans, will always be the way it is, if not better now. The analogy I use for the NFL is, Carrington, go to watch the AFC and AFC championship game with some friends and then go to a Super Bowl party. You can tell a difference in the fandom. One of those weeks is for football. The other week is for, there's the halftime show, the national anthem, there's the flyover, there's the, introducing the players, the fun video, the chips, the dip, the wings, there's a lot of pomp and circumstance. That's the NCAA tournament. I think as long as you still have that pomp and circumstance of, hey, it's at 3 p.m. and you never know what could happen between High Point and Wisconsin, those games will always be popular and will find someone who's cheering for, quote, Rocky, where this week has always been about people just like basketball.
I think Cinderella is going to evolve as this thing continues. And if you are somebody that watches it for the underdogs, you are going to have to watch the tournament for Iowa or Nebraska. Iowa or Nebraska playing in Houston with a chance for the Final Four, that's what underdog looks like. A non-traditional basketball school playing a school with incredible basketball history in Houston and essentially playing a road game. I kind of think that's what Cinderella is going to look like. I think Cinderella is going to look like over the next 5 years, it's going to be somewhere between a 4 to a 6 seed that is a program that's largely up and down, that they can figure it out for a couple of weekends and improve their cachet. That's what I think Cinderella is going to turn into. Like, there's a lot of things to like about this Iowa team, a lot of things to like about this Nebraska team, where if you are looking for a reason to get excited about the tournament, I don't know why you are not gravitating towards one of those two storylines, one of those two schools, whether it is Iowa or or Nebraska, they will have a chance to play for the Final Four coming up on Saturday night. Nebraska, who heading into this tournament had never won an NCAA tournament game. They have a chance to go to the Final Four this weekend. I just think that's what Cinderella is going to be. And in the same way that I think people really started to kind of wrap their arms around Indiana, and we know in college football, you're not going to have the James Madison, you're not going to have the Boise State, but the same way that people champion watching Indiana because it was something new, it was something fresh, it was something different, I think they're going to have to adjust and start to do that same thing when it comes to the basketball tournament. It's going to be the program like Ole Miss that just gets hot and goes on a run. It's going to be a South Carolina. It's going to be a Rutgers. It's going to be one of those kind of schools. It's no longer going to be middle Tennessee State that makes a run in the NCAA tournament. It would appear right now that that time is on hold.
I also think, and maybe we'll never know this, but maybe the sport will evolve and it'll be like, what NIL team is Cinderella? Like, there was a report that Duke's spending like $20 million, a little less than $20 million. Excuse me, Kentucky, not Duke. Kentucky's spending $22 million on their NIL. Nebraska's spending $5 million. I think people will start cheering for the, hey, less resources team. Hey, they don't pay the players the same way the other teams do. Hey, this team has a $30 million roster. This one has a $3 million roster. We're cheering for the 3, even though the name next to the $3 million roster might be Marquette and not, Middle Tennessee State. I think that might also start to evolve as people cheer for the, quote, underdog a little bit.
Coming up at the top of the hour, we will reset things. Jackson County had a major announcement today. We'll tell you what the major announcement was next. Keep it right here. It's The Drive.
You're listening to The Drive with Carrington Harrison.
I mean, come on, guys. What are we doing here?
On your home for Chiefs football, 96.5, The Fan. Here's your traffic report on 96.5, The Fan.
Downtown still working that stall. Boy, there is red all through downtown, but I see 35 southbound at 70. The left lane is blocked. We've also got the crash 70 eastbound as you approach 9 Highway now. That's causing problems. Left lane is blocked there. Let's go down to 470 northbound as you approach 40 Highway. That's 2 right lanes blocked by a crash. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Right now, new FanDuel customers can get $300 back in bonus bets every day for 10 days. Here's how it works. Place a tournament bet using the token. If it doesn't win, you'll get $300 back in bonus bets every single day for 10 straight days. That doesn't matter if it's the money line, the point spread. Maybe you want to play a futures on who you think is going to make the playoffs in the fall. You can do all of that with our friends over at FanDuel. You can even mix things up with the same game parlay for a shot at an even bigger payout. All you need to do, visit FanDuel.com/local to sign up today. That's FanDuel.com/local. Remember, place a tournament bet using the token. If it doesn't win, you'll get $300 back in bonus bets every single day. So it doesn't matter if it's for the brackets or baseball season. You want to be with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook app, and also the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 in President, Missouri. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire 7 days on the street. Tokens are received in increments of 1 per day. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
What if your instincts could pay off? With Robinhood Prediction Markets, you could put your knowledge to work on the events that matter to you. Prediction Markets isn't just sports. It's the Fed rate decision, your favorite award show, and so much more beyond the playing field. Trade events with Robinhood. Visit Robinhood.com/predict. That's Robinhood.com/predict. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more. USPS, official shipping sponsor of the NHL.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now, there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team. Build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. And you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
There's nothing like the sound of Royals baseball. When the boys in blue take the field, loyal fans tune in, turn it up, and stay connected. And where do Kansas City's most passionate sports fans gather? Right here on 96.5 The Fan. Sports fans are loyal fans. They support the teams they love and the businesses that support their team. If you're ready to grow your business and connect with a dedicated, engaged audience, call 816-522-0444 or email greg.bergen@odyssey.com. That's greg.bergen at odyssey.com.
You're always better with a roof from JR.
Here they come. A baseball-sized hailstorm means every roofer for 500 miles is on his way here to ring your doorbell. Before that happens, go online to jrstormcheck.com and relax. JR & Company is locally owned, veteran-owned, and family-owned. JR & Company offers a lifetime warranty on workmanship. But best of all, JR & Company offers a free Class 4 shingle upgrade. What does that mean? Most insurance companies offer premium discounts on Class 4 shingles. Remember, no roofer can legally offer to pay your deductible, but a free shingle upgrade can reduce premiums for years to come. Why do we do this? Because we can. A lifetime workmanship warranty and free shingle upgrade. It's why we say,
You're always better with a roof from JR.
just visit jrstormcheck.com.
There's nothing like the sound of Royals baseball. When the boys in blue take the field, loyal fans tune in, turn it up, and stay connected. And where do Kansas City's most passionate sports fans gather? Right here on 96.5 The Fan. Sports fans are loyal fans. They support the teams they love and the businesses that support their team. If you're ready to grow your business and connect with a dedicated, engaged audience, call 816-522-0444 or email greg.bergen@odyssey.com. That's greg.bergen at odyssey.com.
Join 96.5 at Maloney Sports Bar and Grill in Overland Park for a Royals and Braves watch party Friday, March 27th with first pitch just after 6 right here on your home for Royals baseball. 96.5 The Fan, KFMZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City in Odyssey Sports Station.
Congratulations on getting through your 9 to 5. I got distracted during the commercial break, but I think this is a good distraction. I had not seen this until quite literally 3 minutes ago, and I read it during this time. So friend of the show, Matt Miller, he ranked all of the Ohio State quarterbacks of recent memory and how he would rank them as they were entering the NFL draft. Now, this is something that interests me. I think they've kind of turned into wide receiver U. So the headline is ranking Ohio State first-round wide receivers since 2022. All right, decent sample size. He has Marvin Harrison Jr. at number 1. I know it has not worked out that way, but Rob, you were here. The expectation with Marvin Harrison Jr. coming out of college is that he was an absolute cannot-miss prospect, and no one had an issue with him being a top 5 pick back in 2024. He has JSN at number 2, which is a little bit surprising to me because he went 20th overall to Seattle. He has Garrett Wilson at number 3 coming out of Ohio State. Carnell Tate at number 4. We'll get to that here coming up in a little bit. Chris Olave at number 5. Emeka Egbuka at number 6. So I was reading the part about Carnell Tate, and let me go through it really quickly. Like several receivers on this list, Tate was never the number 1 option in Columbus. Even in his final season, he was the secondary option behind Jeremiah Smith. But he showed the ability to be able to impress in a number 2 role with his routes, toughness, ability to play above the rim. It then says, quote, when you look at his route running and his body control and tell me that's not Justin Jefferson at LSU, an NFC scout said this to Matt Miller. Now, this is where I struggle with Carnell Tate. The story then goes on and says that Tate wins like Jefferson does, with timing, body control, quick cuts that allow him to separate without or with the ball. 6'2", 200 pounds, Tate plays bigger than his size. Rob, Justin Jefferson's last year at LSU, he had 111 catches for 1,600 yards and 18 touchdowns, and also played with the future top 10 pick at wide receiver. Carnell Tate had a fine year, but he wasn't a dog like that. You got to also factor in, I mean, if you got Jeremiah Smith on the other side, that we love to throw out the term generational talent when discussing prospects, Jeremiah Smith is a generational talent. Jeremiah Smith, after 1 year at Ohio State as a true freshman, would have been a top 5 pick in the NFL draft last year and will be a top 5 pick in this year's NFL draft if he was eligible, but he's not because of the rules. What am I missing with Carnell Tate that have people that feel this way about him? Because for a scout to say, when you look at his route running and his body control and tell me that's not Justin Jefferson, and then when I see what Justin Jefferson did at LSU and I compare it to what Carnell Tate did at LSU, why was one player significantly more productive than the other player? It's not like Carnell Tate went out there and dominated last year and was a beast. No, this is a good year for a good receiver. But top 10? I will continue to maintain, I feel like a lot of this conversation just stems from the fact of where he went to school. That he was not a better college receiver than Chris Olave. He was not a better college receiver than Emeka Egbuka, but he's going to likely end up being the first wide receiver taken and a top 10 pick, unlike those guys. I understand that every year is different. What am I missing with Carnell Tate? What am I not seeing with him that everybody else seems to see?
Is it possible, and I don't watch every Ohio State game, is it possible compared to the other guys on that list, they never had to deal with Jeremiah Smith also on the field at the same time? Because,
these other guys played with Marvin Harrison. I mean, Emeka Egbuka played with Marvin Harrison. Jackson Smith-Njigba played with Marvin Harrison. Better guys. Jackson Smith-Njigba was a better player than Carnell Tate was.
It's true. I know that Njigba had was it the Rose Bowl where Harrison didn't play and he had the massive day. I was just trying to maybe give an idea of, hey, the can't miss NFL player is across the way, so it hampers the numbers. I'm also trying to think who the quarterback was.
I'm just looking it up, and again, maybe I'm being unfair to the kid, and I don't want to be unfair, but if I'm looking at their biggest games last year and against their best opponents, they played Texas last year. Robbie had 50 yards receiving in the Texas game. The Michigan game, big game for them. He had 82 yards in that game when they got to the college football playoff. Against Indiana, he had 4 catches for 45 yards. In the Miami game, he had 3 catches for 37 yards. Sure, he cooked Minnesota. He cooked Wisconsin this year against the teams that I think are really legitimately good, where those teams are going to put added pressure on the number 1 option and try to make Carnell Tate beat you. And whoever the number 2 guy is, he never really stepped up and just kind of had that monster game. I think he's a good player, but to me, putting him in the same category as Garrett Wilson coming out of school, or how I felt about Chris Olave and Emeka Egbuka, I don't feel that way based on NFL prospect. I don't see that in the numbers based on who they were when they were at college either.
I do think there's a part of it that's Ohio State based, but is that part all that wrong? Like Brian Hartline, who's now at USF, he's been pumping out pros at Ohio State for a while. I mean, it could be as simple as lineage, and if Carnell Tate had been given a chance more, he would start pumping out numbers the same way JSN did in college, or Egbuka did in college, or one of those type of guys did in college.
Yeah, and I mean, the text line is saying that's a quarterback issue. I mean, last year, their quarterback.
He was a Heisman candidate.
The quarterback at Ohio State last year completed 77% of his passes for 3,600 yards and 32 touchdown passes last year. They did not get bad quarterback play last year at Ohio State. They didn't get bad quarterback play. Now, they didn't get Joe Burrow level quarterback play. I'm not saying they got that. They got pretty good quarterback play last year. I think he was fine. I think he was a fine player. He had 51 catches for 800 yards and 9 touchdowns. He was good last year. I'm just arguing top 10 pick, best receiver in this class. I don't know if we feel that way about Carnell Tate if he goes to Wisconsin. I don't know if we feel like Carnell Tate is the best receiver in this class if he ends up going to a different school. I feel like a large part of this conversation is that position from that school has hit so frequently of late, and he is just the next one up. So if you draft him, you have the next best Ohio State wide receiver. That's what I feel like a lot of this hype comes from.
But playing devil's advocate, let's say he was at, I won't use Wisconsin. Wisconsin's unfair. I wouldn't do that to the kid. Let's say he was at any other Big Ten school other than one that throws.
A lot of people, and sorry, really
his
quickly,
number would be better is my point.
A lot of people are making it's like he wasn't Emeka Egbuka. Carnell Tate never had 1,000 yards receiving at Ohio State. Emeka Egbuka did it twice while he was there. He did that with Will Howard as his quarterback. He did his sophomore year and his senior year. We don't got to just compare him to Justin Jefferson. We can compare him to other Ohio State quarterbacks. He wasn't built like that last year when he was there. He wasn't built like that last year.
There's got to be something the scouting people are seeing that the stats just don't show. That's got to be the answer. Matt, and it could be lineage. I don't know, but Matt Miller is as good as it gets. And for him to say he's that guy better than Egbuka, there's got to be something that we're not seeing or the numbers don't show.
Someone said, CDOT, what were Jeremiah Smith's numbers last year? Jeremiah Smith had 87 catches for 1,200 yards and 12 touchdowns last season. He's phenomenal. I just don't want to tell you he's phenomenal.
I would draft his rights right now if I was the Chiefs. Just hold him for a year.
He's phenomenal, yeah.
Now let's take Jeremiah Smith in 27. We'll take him now.
How did Ohio State not win the national championship last year?
It's a great question.
I'm serious. How did they not win the national championship last year? If we look at their depth chart, how did they not win the national championship?
They have 4 guys that might go in the top 10? Tate, Downs, Reese. I think they have another one. Who's the kid the linebacker was the physical specimen? I forget who it was. That blew up the combine. How did they not win a national title?
A lot of people are saying it's because of with Will Howard as his quarterback in 2024, he had 52 catches for 700 yards the season before. So this wasn't just he was okay one year. He's been okay the last 2 years at Ohio State.
By the way, those stats actually are impressive to me. He did that with Jeremiah Smith and Egbuka on the roster.
Yeah, for sure. He had those 2 dogs on the other side.
Actually, that year with Will Howard to me is more impressive than his last year. Tell me, Jeremiah Smith and Emeka Egbuka out there eating, and you still find a way to get 700 yards? That's pretty good.
Text line loves them. I'm just saying, text line loves them. 913-586-7965. I'm just wondering why he wasn't more of a dog in college. That's just all I'm wondering.
Who did they lose to in the playoff? I cannot remember for the life of me.
I can't remember off the top of my head either. I know
Miami.
They did lose to Miami. You're right.
That's right, because Ruben Bain wrecked the game. That's the answer to the question.
He actually played really poorly in that game, too. The quarterback played really poorly in that game,
too. And Bain.
They couldn't block up front. That was their biggest problem in that game. They just couldn't really block in that scenario. Ohio State, they're going to be very good this year. Are they going to be preseason number 1, do you think?
Texas.
Because of Arch?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's just how it works. Or actually, Notre Dame brings everyone back. That's how that works.
Oh, no. This Ohio State team, they're going to be good again next year. They got Jeremiah Smith back for his last year. Sayans back. They got that Bo Jackson kid. I think Bo Jackson really started to figure some things out at the end of the year and was really, really good. So, no, I'm not telling you something you don't know. Ohio State's going to be very good this year. I just wanted to know about Carnell Tate, what you guys love so much about him other than he went to Ohio State. All right, let's talk about there was a major announcement today from Jackson County.
Your workday is over.
Oh, yeah.
You're headed home. and now you're stuck in traffic. Time to get caught up on the biggest stories in Kansas City and around the country with CDOT and Rob. It's time for the hits. Number 1.
Carrington, the hits are brought to you by the Salvation Army. Get your tickets today at kickhungerkc.com for the Salvation Army's Civic Lunch, which will take place on May 7th.
All right, so earlier today, and I want to play the news story for you, we had a tweet. And I also got an email that said this too. And the email said that Jackson County had a major announcement on the future of the Truman Sports Complex. I was obviously very intrigued about this. I want to play to you guys the news story from KCTV5.
This will not be done with just one part of government. It's going to take everyone. So today, I want to take an important step forward. Today, I'm announcing the creation of a sports complex redevelopment task force. This task force will be made up of approximately 10 to 15 individuals, including business leaders, developers, and community stakeholders, bringing both legal insight and outside perspective to the table. And I want to be clear, this group will be focused and time-bound. I'm asking this group to get to work on April 15th, and they will have 90 days to dig in, ask the right questions, investigate, and help shape a vision for what this site can become. That work includes reviewing past proposals for the nearly 400 acres of county-owned land, identifying new opportunities for economic development, evaluating job creation potential, and rethinking how this space can be activated and used year-round.
All right. So earlier today, Jackson County announced that they are putting together a special task force starting April 15th, and then that task force is going to have 90 days to then come up with a plan to then tell us what's going to happen. So they don't have a plan yet. They announced that they don't have a plan, but they did announce that they are putting together people that they're going to come together and then they're going to figure out the plan. That was the announcement today. I'm starting to see why the Chiefs didn't want to deal with them anymore. Remember, I think it was Bob. You can probably find the audio. I remember it was Bob when he asked Clark Hunt, hey, what was the tiebreaker? Why did you end up making this decision? And he, in essence, said, well, it's much more simple on one side than the other side. On one side, everybody appears to be on the same page. But in Missouri, we got to deal with the city. We got to deal with the county. We got to deal with the state. And we didn't want to go with that option anymore. It was unanimous in our room that we wanted to go with the Kansas offer. And if you were Jackson County, you know what right now there was no spotlight on? There was absolutely zero spotlight on what your plan for the future is with the Truman Sports Complex today. None. No one was talking about it. No one was worried about what your plan is for the future of it. Not now. I'm not saying they'll never be worried about it. They are not worried about it today. So why not put this task force together in silence? You cook up something, you have all your I's dotted and T's crossed, and then when you call a press conference, you are coming to the press conference with hard news to discuss. This is the plan. We got this money earmarked from the state. You guys are going to love this. We're going to break ground on X day. We're going to have a concert venue out here. We're going to keep up Arrowhead because we want to host the high school football championship game here for the state of Missouri in Kansas City. I don't know why this was the plan today from leadership. They made an announcement to tell us that they don't have a plan. Well, I see how you lost now. I see how you lost. Have you ever been to somebody's house and when you see the way that their house is, it just makes a lot of sense to you? Like, oh, okay. Like now you just better understand why they do the things that they do. Or when you get into somebody's car, you just understand them a lot better. I feel like the more Jackson County talks, the more I start to understand how we got here. The more I understand how they never developed around Kaufman and Arrowhead, despite it being there since the 1970s. the more I start to understand why the Chiefs one day just woke up and said, you know what, man, it's a lot nicer over here in Wyandotte County. They're just going to give us this land. We don't got to deal with anybody. They're willing to bend over backwards. We don't got to ask 19 people for their approval on everything. No, we're just going to get this done. I've never, ever seen this before. I've never seen this. They made an announcement to tell us that they have an announcement, but there was no announcement. There was no nothing. What did we learn today? All we learned is they are working on something. I knew that. Rob, you won. Not you as in you individually, Rob Britton. I mean, you as a Johnson County resident, you won. I understand how you won. It makes sense to me why you won.
This task force feel like, was it $1 short and a whatever late? Like, you're telling me when John Sherman spoke to Annie Rogers in Surprise, and
we don't even know who's on the task force. Think about that. They announced the task force, and they don't even tell us who's on the task force, just that they have a task force. It's not like they were like, hey, we got these 10 people that you know in the city.
Nope.
So it sounds to me they haven't even put it together yet. They got April 15th. They're still working on putting it together. This explains why they lost.
This is the epitome of day late, $1 short. When John Sherman talked to Annie Rogers about downtown baseball, that's when they should have built a task force of, hey, how can we improve the Truman Sports Complex? Because we like you here. But instead, they waited for the Royals to, they don't have a plan, but they're not staying in the Truman Sports Complex, and the Chiefs to announce, we're out of here before they decide it's task force time. What's the task force going to do they haven't done in the last 60 years? Maybe they'll put a Burger King next to that Taco Bell finally. Like, it's just, how is this the plan today? Also, I know we're an audio medium, so we can't do the renderings. The renderings they built for what's going to be the Truman Sports Complex.
They're about to turn it into the San Antonio Riverwalk.
It looks like the most gorgeous version of Phoenix you've ever seen.
They're about to build Scottsdale in Raytown.
It was 82 degrees and sunshine every day at this place.
Like, a pond. One of the pictures, when you see the rendering that they have, when they had the rendering, there was like a river in the middle of it. I was trying to wonder where the river came from. I've been out there plenty of times. Where are you building this body of water? They're going to have it. Somebody said we have an announcement. That an announcement is that they will have an announcement in 120 days. That is exactly what they did today. They called a press conference to tell us that they don't have a plan. It blows they really do. They're a funny bunch. They really are a funny bunch of individuals. If there is anything that politicians love to tell us to do, is that they had a meeting. Oh, they love to tell us they had a meeting. They never tell us what happened at the meeting, but boy, they love to tell us that a group of them got together to discuss things. They can't get enough of it. All right, hit number 2. Let's move on from that. I mean, you already know the Jackson County. I mean, just come on now. You already know. They're losers. I want to play 2 pieces of audio for you guys. The first piece of audio I want to play for you guys, this is the head coach at Arizona University. He was asked about his future as their coach. This is what he said.
What I'll say, Seth, is I already have one of the best jobs in the country. And one thing we talk about in our program all the time, and I think I've gotten better at, and I think our team's been crushing it this year, is just the ability to have full focus and be present in the moment. And so I think we have a great team. I think we have a chance to advance in this tournament game by game, but I'm not delusional. I know we could lose tomorrow, but this team deserves my full focus. So there's not one thing that is going to knock me off my path. I'm 100% focused on Arizona basketball and this program, and I can't wait till the ball gets thrown up tomorrow, and then can't wait to try to figure out a way to come out on top.
I didn't hear a no from Tommy Lloyd. I didn't hear a no. I don't know if he's taking the job. I don't know if he's not taking the job. He didn't sound emphatic that he is not going to take it. Where with Iowa State's coach, I think Iowa State's coach has come out and removed himself from it. I'll play for you what he had to say, but the Arizona coach, I think, very much leaves it in question. Now, he could end up staying. He could end up going. Maybe he hasn't made a decision yet. But listen to how the Arizona coach talks about potentially leaving and how the Iowa State coach talks about potentially leaving.
First, I'd just like to start by saying any speculation with me and any other jobs or opportunities is not true. The coach of the Cyclones, thrilled to be the coach of the Cyclones. And what I can say to you even more as we move forward together is the alignment on our campus with Dr. Cook, Jamie Pollard is amazing, and we're thrilled and excited about our future together. So really appreciative and grateful to Jamie Pollard and David Cook and conversations we've had. And so just excited about our future. So that's topic number one. There's no questions about it. There's nothing to talk about. There's nothing else to answer. That's the truth.
I mean, he came out, and I didn't want to play the whole thing for you. We are at Iowa State. We're thrilled to be Cyclones. We're Cyclones for the long haul. Myself, the president, and the AD are all aligned. Now, sure, he didn't come out and emphatically say, I will be the head coach at Iowa State next season, but we can put 2 and 2 together. I would remove Iowa State's head coach from any coaching search. I don't think he's taking over at North Carolina. I don't think he's potentially taking over at Kansas. Let's see if that job ultimately ends up opening up. I think he is out of the conversation. Now, Arizona's a little bit of a different beast. I think if you are Kansas and tomorrow Bill Self says, I'm out of here, there's 2 phone calls that you need to make first. Arizona's head coach in Tommy Lloyd, Michigan's head coach at Dusty May. Those should be number 1, number 2 for any coaching job that are open right now, and you force those guys to say no. If those guys say no, now you move to the next tier. I thought that TJ Otzelberger was one of those individuals. Looks like he has removed himself. I would say that Kansas should also put a call into Fred Hoiberg. He seems like another person that should be at the top of the list of who they could potentially go out there and get. And I wouldn't have this person on my list. I think the text line would have him. Ben McCollum would also be the other person that I think Kansas fans would want their university to go out and call. So I just wanted to play for you guys. That's what Arizona's head coach had to say. That is what Iowa State's head coach had to say. They were talking more specifically about the North Carolina job opening, but I'm going to imagine that a lot of that would also apply if Kansas ends up being available. Coming up on the other side, we'll get you ready for the Sweet 16. We'll also talk about the Royals as we are less than 24 hours from the start of their season. Keep it right here, so Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on Kansas City's only FM sports station, 96.5, The Fan.
Right now, new FanDuel customers get up to $300 back in bonus bets every day for 10 days. Here's how it works. Place a tournament bet using the token, and if it doesn't win, you'll get up to $300 back in bonus bets every single day for 10 straight days. You can mix things up with same-game parlays for an even bigger payout. So visit FanDuel.com/local to sign up today. That's FanDuel.com/local. Remember, place a tournament bet using the token, and if it doesn't win, you'll get up to $300 back in bonus bets every single day for 10 straight days. I am jonesing for a Duke-UConn matchup in what should have been Kansas region. That one is a great potential Elite 8 matchup. FanDuel Sportsbook is the official sportsbook of 96.5 The Fan. 21 in President, Missouri. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire 7 days after receipt. Tokens are received in increments of 1 per day. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
In a field of thousands, one has emerged. Back from the brink, now poised to take its rightful place amongst the greatest lawns of all time. It's the birth of a true turf champion, and a story that will live on at summer barbecues and in neighborhood group chats for all time. Your lawn is back, baby, and it's Weedman for the win. Go to weedman.com, enter promo code GREEN, and get 1 free service.
Men, we all know how important sex is in a relationship, both for you and your partner. But erectile dysfunction ruins sex, which can often have serious impacts on your relationship as well. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if ED is a problem in your life, you understand the impacts it has on you and the one you love. But I'm here to tell you that ED is a treatable condition, and almost without exception, you can have really good sex again. At Heartland Men's Health, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men with protocols that are effective in well over 90% of cases, which means if you're like most guys, good sex will be the norm. You could even last up to an hour or more and bring a level of intimacy for you and your partner that might just astound you both. It's time to have really good sex again, so call us. Just $99 gets you blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com. We have 3 offices: Overland Park, Independence, and North Kansas City.
Pump up the volume.
Business moves fast. Orders roll in, deadlines close in. When you ship with USPS Ground Advantage, you can keep up with confidence. Every package stays in our secure network from dock to door. And with nationwide reach, dependable tracking, and upfront affordable pricing, you get built-in peace of mind. You run the business. We run the routes. Visit USPS.com/Ground Advantage to learn more.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
Okay, new crash near Lee 7 on the curve, 50 westbound at 470. Right lane is blocked. We've also got still working 435 westbound just past Row. That's a 2-car crash off to the right shoulder. A lot of onlooker delay. Overland Park, that's a new crash. 35 southbound past 75th. Right lane is blocked there. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Hey, it's Cole Reagans from the Kansas City Royals. You're listening to The Drive with CDOT on 96.5 The Fan.
Welcome back into the show. Let's talk a little Royals baseball. I'm just happy. I don't really know a better way to put it, honestly, when discussing this baseball team. I'm happy. I am happy for all of us to be on the same page. For Kansas this year, Kansas football, let's not talk about the basketball team because I don't know who their coach is going to be. But for Kansas football, Rob, I imagine every Kansas fan is on the exact same place. Kansas needs to make a bowl game in 2026. And if Kansas does not make a bowl game, that is a failure. Look at the commitment that we have shown to this football program. We're not asking to win 9 games. Can we win 6 or more games and find ourselves in some fill-in-the-blank bowl? That's it. Am I right in that? That's all people are asking. Now, I don't know this exactly for Kansas State football, but I've been around enough K-State fans to know they usually hold their team to like an 8-win standard. If you win 8 games at K-State, you had a good year. Some years you'll win more than that. Some years you'll win less than that. But 8 normally feels like a good number if you're a K-State football fan. Mizzou this upcoming year. Well, no question the expectation is to make the NCAA tournament. You made it 3 of the last 4 years. You got one of the 5 best high school recruiting classes. Making the tournament and being the 10th seed ain't enough. My expectation is that Missouri needs to be one of the teams that gets a double bye. I think they need to finish top 4 in the SEC. I think they need to be a team that is a 6 seed or higher in the NCAA tournament. Those are the kind of expectations. With the Chiefs, we don't have to debate what the expectations are. You know what I'm thrilled about with the Royals? I'm thrilled with the Royals that from day one, we are all going into this with the exact same. This is not about vibes. This is not about how fun it is that baseball is back. No, this season has a purpose. This season has a, let's get back to the postseason. You know what I would deem to be a success for the Royals? If they are the home team or better in the wild card round. I mean, if they end up being the road team in the wild card round, I mean, I ain't going to be torn up about it. I mean, they made the playoffs. But you know what I would love? I would love for us to have 2 games in late September, early October at Kauffman Stadium that we deem to be playoff games. That'd be great. I would love for them to win their division and be a division champion. I mean, they've won 1 division in my entire life. I was born in 1988. They have won the division exactly 1 time since I've been on this earth in 2015. It will be great if for opening day 2027, the Royals were raising a banner that they were the American League Central champions for the 2026 season, and they are looking to repeat as champions. So we can talk about Cole Reagans and Seth Lugo and Jack Caglione and Carter Jensen, and all of that is great. It really is. All of that is great. I am happy that we all, when talking about this team, how we are evaluating this team, we are all looking at it through the same lens. You have been building up enough parts and enough pieces. The Royals have everything they need to be competitive. We're not holding them to a World Series or bust expectation, but the Royals have everything they need currently on their team to be competitive, to be viable, and to give themselves a realistic chance to dream big in October. That's all I think you can ask for in March when talking about your baseball team.
It is nice. Now, it's a little bit of a gambling point. I know I don't run gambles, but it's nice to look at the over-unders as you get ready for my futures. And you don't see the Royals like 61.5. Are they going to lose 100 games? Yes or no? It's nice to see them at 82.5. It's nice to see that they're one of the teams that people are actually betting on to win the AL Central. Like, it is nice to care about baseball in Kansas City again and not just have to sell a dream that, hey, on opening day, you never know, maybe Chris Owings will be a thing. Nope, we don't have to talk about that. We can talk about real Major League Baseball and hold them to a standard. It's a weird thing, but I really, really enjoy it because maybe it's on the heels of the Chiefs being so pitiful in 2025, but it's nice to have a team that you're going to hold a standard of, are you winning?
So I want to play one more thing for you guys, and then we'll talk a little college basketball. We're going to talk all baseball tomorrow. It's opening day. I mean, I'm saying all baseball. We'll talk a little basketball, a little baseball as well. But you know what? I think we can put the NFL draft conversations away for tomorrow. It's opening day. You know, we can put them away for tomorrow. Let me play for you guys what Tim Kirchin had to say. He was on the morning show earlier today. Listen to what he said about the Royals.
I'm not sure they made a move of any kind that was so big that you just say, all right, this is the difference maker. I think this has to come from within. I mean, Mike Franco has been such a good player for them, but I think he's gone to another level, making the All-Star team last year and then playing in the WBC. So that's where I think the improvement comes for the Royals, are guys who have been there and are starting like their first full year with the team.
That was Tim Kirchin earlier today. He was on the morning show. So I think he's right. I wish I had more pushback against the Royals. You know, the show is a little better when it's a little angst, when it's me against the text line, you know, when it's us against you. I feel like we're all on the same page here. Everybody's optimistic. Everybody's happy. Everybody is, hey, Jack Caglione's going to turn the corner. Everybody's going to stay healthy. I like it when it's like this. I mean, Tim Kirchin is 100% correct. 100% correct. Very simple. The Royals did not make a move where they acquired somebody that really stop the presses. There was not a move that they made that was top story, breaking news. This is the move that gets them over the hump. No, the Royals are relying on improvement from their own superstars, and they are counting on getting something from Jack Caglione and Carter Jensen. And if that happens, then the Royals should be a really good team. I think bullpen-wise, they're solid. Rotation-wise, they're solid. Lineup-wise, like we'll see what their lineup is tomorrow for opening day. But when we see what their lineup is for opening day, something tells me we're going to think that's a good lineup if everything works out. Now, sure, everything has to work out, and sometimes sports don't end up working that way. But I made this point earlier. We will know in the first 45 days what's wrong with the Royals. It usually shows. Maybe they need a 7th inning guy or an 8th inning guy. Maybe we were wrong about the development of the outfielders and they need to go add an outfield bat, something we were talking about in November and December and January. Maybe they actually need to go out and spend the resources to be able to do it. But I think there's enough talent there that should just keep you in it. Like, I'm not interested, Rob, to be in just treading water. Like, I feel like that's a term that we've used the last couple years. Oh, if they can just tread water. No, I'm expecting the Royals, and maybe this is just using a different term but saying the same thing. I'm expecting the Royals to keep pace. I'm not expecting to look up and on June 1st, the Royals are 5.5 games out of the division, and we're thinking, oh, well, no. The Royals should be able to keep pace with the Detroit Tigers. They should be able to keep pace with the Cleveland Guardians. The Royals are a better team than the Guardians, in my opinion. They're a better team than the Twins. They're a better team than the White Sox. The question is, can they pass the Detroit Tigers? We'll obviously see how it plays out over the course of the season. But the Royals should absolutely be going out there with the expectation for every baseball game they are in, we can win this game. You might not win it, but you can go in there with, you shouldn't feel outmanned by any starting pitcher. You shouldn't feel outmanned by any lineup. You got a chance to win this game today. That's how the Royals should walk into this season.
I feel like last year at one point, me and you had the conversation. I think it was actually before June. It may have been in May. We had the conversation of, we can throw the division aside. The Royals should still try to be a wild card team. If we're going to have that conversation, it needs to be in like August. Like the Chiefs are getting ready for a preseason game and the Royals are in the playoffs, but there's like 6.5 back of the Tigers. Let's throw the division away. We should not at any point in the throes of the summer be like, this team is not good enough to compete for a division. Maybe the Tigers end up winning the division because the Tigers are just better than the Royals. It's possible. But we should not at any point say, hey, let's just quit on the division. Maybe they can eke out a third wild card. There should be an important series in late July, August, September, where the Tigers come in town, and you try to convince yourself, hey, if they take 2 or 3, they're back in this thing. That should be the expectation for the division, not, hey, it's Memorial Day and it's gone. That's not how it should go.
Coming up on the other side, someone asked a really good question on the text line. When sports radio talk hosts say you need to force a coach to say no when it comes to a job opening, what does that mean? I'll explain. It's a good question. We'll talk about it next. Keep it right here, so Drive.
The Drive with Carrington Harrison on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Look at the weather outside. Baseball is in the air. Spring is in the air, and that means tailgate season. Well, with the home opener right around the corner, you are right around the corner from Gates Barbecue. They got 5 locations around town. That one over there on 40 Highway, I think, is actually the best location in the city. But you can always stop by any one of the area 5 locations. Stop by at lunch, get yourself the nooner, get yourself a beef on bun. You can stop in for dinner. You can also get yourself the mixed plate. I like to just get myself a slab of ribs and a fries to go. Heavy on the sauce, please. I know we got Easter coming up, so we got holiday season right around the corner. Maybe you're planning on having a family gathering for Easter. You can get yourself a small party tray, get yourself a large party tray, get yourself a presidential platter. The next time you're at the grocery store, be sure you pick up on some of the sauces and seasoning for your tailgate, for your home cooking, and around the house. Whatever your food needs are, either stop by the website, GatesBBQ.com, or any one of the 5 area Gates locations. The Carrington Harrison from The Drive here telling you the next time you're in the mood for barbecue, go get some of the best barbecue in the world with our friends over at Gates.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Hey, it's Gold, and my friends over at Shawnee Mission Ford are ready to make this the best truck month ever. You know how much I loved driving the F-150. You can drive one now as well. In fact, 25 F-150s now have 0% for 60 months, 90 days till your first payment, and large discounts and the no-charge lifetime warranty. Or you could get a new Maverick for $3,000 off MSRP. Come celebrate Truck Month at Shawnee Mission Ford. They're on a mission to do more in 26.
Tonight, expect a chance of showers and thunderstorms with a low of 43.
Weather brought to you by Staples. From posters and presentations to labels and loyalty cards, Staples has all the print to boost your brand. Shop now in-store and online. Staples. That was easy.
Hey, it's Rex here with Rex Buys KC. I get it. Selling your house can sometimes feel overwhelming or scary, right? I've seen it too many times. A homeowner thought they had a deal, only to have the buyer back out at the last minute. That's not how we do business at Rex Buys KC. I'm local, I know Kansas City, and I make sure every deal actually closes like it's supposed to. No hidden fees, no showings, no last-minute surprises, just a fair cash offer and a process you can count on. We buy homes in any condition and judgment-free. So whether your house needs repairs or you just want a fast, hassle-free sale, we can make it happen. If you want certainty, transparency, and someone local who actually delivers, call 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com. Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time. 816-330-6000 or rexbuyskc.com.
On MLB opening day, baseball isn't just back, it's back on NBC and Peacock. And leading off, it's a coast-to-coast doubleheader. First, the Pirates take on the Mets in NYC. Then in primetime, the Diamondbacks visit the World Series champion Dodgers. Let's start the show. MLB is back on NBC and Peacock. Today, 1 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Eastern.
DQ presents the Spicy Menu. For a limited time, try the new Flamethrower Chicken Strip Basket for $6.99 with spicy bold strips that heat you up. Served with a side of famous DQ soft serve as a dip to cool you down. That's right, dip those spicy chicken strips right into soft serve, plus fries and toast, all for just $6.99. And add a new pineapple lemonade sparkler or cooler made with tahini. It's the limited time only Spicy Menu. Get it delivered in the DQ app. Happy, tastes good. Participation may vary.
J. Rieger & Co. Oh, so good. Quality crafted in Kansas City. J. Rieger & Co. Straight Bourbon Whiskey. Winner of Best Craft Bourbon at the 2025 Ascot Awards. At 90 proof, it's rich, well-balanced, and oh, so good. Quality crafted in Kansas City.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Car, truck, or motorcycle wreck? Remember, Mike's got this.
816-888-7500. Mike's got this.
Here's your traffic report on 96.5 The Fan.
Okay, two-car crash working in Overland Park. 35 southbound just past 75th. It is the right lane blocked. You've also got 35 southbound just past 435. Right lane blocked there. That's a two-car crash. And, boy, things are just very heavy, really all over. But for the most part, 35 really is a mess right now. Lee Summit, that's a stall. Right lane block 470 eastbound on the ramp to 50 eastbound. I'm Val with traffic on 96.5 The Fan.
Subscribe to 96.5 The Fan on YouTube to watch the show from wherever you are.
Someone on the text line says, what does force them to say no mean? You and Gold continue to use that term, which doesn't make any sense. This is how I force them to say no. Let's say in this analogy that Kansas really wants Tommy Lloyd to be their next head coach. Let's say that. If you really want Tommy Lloyd and you currently have the highest paid coach in college basketball, my ploy to Tommy Lloyd would be very simple. We are prepared to make a substantial financial commitment to you. We are prepared to make you the highest paid coach in college basketball, and we are prepared to offer you more in NIL money than Arizona does. You might turn it down. I mean, people turn down higher paying jobs all the time, but that's what force. If you really, really want this candidate, I'm just going to create a very enticing offer to make it very, very difficult for you to go back to where you are. Right now, you're making like $5.1 million. Our coach makes $8.8 million. We're willing to pay you $9 million a year to be the head coach of Kansas. We're willing to make a more significant NIL commitment than what Arizona is willing to make. We want you to be our next head coach and be the next head coach at Kansas for the next 15 to 20 years. Maybe he ends up saying no to that. It's a really, really good offer. I don't really know what more you can ask for if you want to be a college basketball coach. So that's what forced them to say no to me is I'm just creating a scenario that just you have a really, really difficult decision. If somebody's willing to make you the highest paid at your profession, you at least got to think about whatever they are talking about. You got to be thinking about it.
I mean, I've always heard the term make them say no when it comes to coaching searches. So it's not new to me. And KU currently has the highest paid coach in college basketball. I imagine they can put a financial package together if Bill Self retires that is competitive, if not better, than most anywhere in college sports. The question will be fit, expectations, happiness. There are a lot of factors beyond it. Like you made the analogy yesterday with college football. I'm betting Nebraska out offered KU for Lance Leipold.
Mm-hmm.
It would stun me if KU out offered. But you know what? Sometimes people say no to that offer.
Yeah, 100%.
Also, they don't do it publicly. They quietly take an extension with their own program and move on.
No, for sure. That happens a lot too.
Yeah.
That happens a whole lot. I would say that happens more so than the other ones. I mean, now, if they end up hiring Jock Vaughn, that will not be the case. But if Kansas is going to do a national search, there are a lot of people that are going to get a raise solely off of there's a chance you take the Kansas job.
Oh, it's not usually Kansas. Carolina
too, for sure.
Carolina and Kansas are about to get TJ Otzelberger a raise like you've never seen before.
Yeah, I mean he's also done a good job too. Yeah,
I'm not diminishing his ability.
Yeah, both.
He's gonna be paid like he's one of those guys when we think that he's not. He's gonna be paid like he's Dusty May. Currently, you're gonna be like, wow, he's getting that paycheck?
It's really the combination of both. You have to have a lot of success at your current job. You have to have a lot of success at your current job to even be considered to be the head coach at North Carolina or Kansas. And then because you've been so good at your job, you're going to get a significant raise from somebody. It's just who's going to end up be the one giving you the raise. Is it going to be where you currently work or where you're about to go work?
You know what would be a great job while we talk about this? College coach agent. Hey, all you got to do is call Kansas, see what the deal is, and I can turn around and get my client a raise, which in turn gets me a raise. Or he takes that job, my client gets a raise, and then I get a raise. Agents really never lose in this game, do they?
No, not at all. That's the way I would love it. That's the way I would love it.
If I'm Nate Oates' agent, I'd start floating his name around to get himself a raise.
For sure. Give me a raise, please.
Also, get Nate Oates to be in a story that doesn't involve one of his players being a drug kingpin. Is he not a drug kingpin?
He might be. I don't know. He might be. There's a chance that he is.
Based on Alabama state law,
no, he is.
He might be a drug kingpin.
Yeah, they definitely had Tony Montana running point guard for them. That's 100%. We have 4 college basketball games coming up this evening. The first one gets going in about 20 minutes or so. Texas against Purdue. We have another game that starts in about 40 minutes or so. We have Iowa and Nebraska. We also have Arkansas and Arizona coming up later tonight, and we have Illinois and Houston coming up later tonight. What time do you think we get done with Illinois-Houston tonight?
Midnight.
What time you think?
Yeah. That's around midnight is my guess. Because these teams don't quit in the Elite Eight, Sweet 16. I
Go
don't care.
down 7
9.
with 12 seconds to go, and it's like, why are we fouling?
Gotta hit them.
What are we doing here?
Oh, the worst is when they miss a 3 down 9 with 6 seconds to go, foul on the rebound. Why? Just let them catch
Vegas,
the ball.
that's why they put that call into Vegas. That's 100% why. You betting on tonight? What you got? What you got going tonight?
I got Arizona money line, and I actually have Purdue minus 7.5.
I'm actually thinking about doing. Did you know that you can? I didn't even know you could do this. Did you know that you can take a team against the spread and then take the other team money line? Joe, you could do that.
I mean, you can't.
And parlay it. Did you know you could do that?
You can parlay it.
Yeah.
That I didn't know that part. I knew
So,
you could
like,
do
for
that.
example, here, I'll do this real quick. Hold on, I'll show you. For example, hold on, I'll show you. Let me pull it up here real quick. Hold on. We can't leave before I can show you that you can do this. So let's say tonight you're going to take Arizona plus the 8.5, and you're going to take Arizona on the money line. That's plus 220. That's not a bad bet, honestly. It's not a bad bet.
That's got to be a weirdo cheering situation, but.
Yeah, you think it's going to be a close game that Arizona wins? Yeah, for sure. I actually don't hate that bet. I think that game could be a little close. Or I think they could get blown out. I can't be wrong either way tomorrow. I'm like, oh, I told you guys. I told you. Either way. All right, we'll be back tomorrow. Happy opening day to everybody. We'll catch up with you. Take care of yourself.